Welcome to what will hopefully be the most valuable and informative video you've seen on the internet so far, because over the next 5 hours, I'm going to teach you a skill that can very realistically help you make between 5 and 10 grand a month online. Now, the reason I say very realistically and not absolutely definitely is because most of you are not going to watch this video all the way to the end. And those of you who do, 50% will forget about it in a week and go back to button bashing Fortnite and doom scrolling TikTok, while the remaining 50% who do try and make it work will eventually be ambushed by the little voice in the back of your mind which says, I can't do this is too hard, it's too much work, it's taking too long, I'm a pussy. And so while it is very realistic to expect 5 to 10 grand a month with this skill, it's not definite because it all depends on you. But trust me when I say, if you can at the bare minimum just tell that little voice in the back of your mind to shut the fuck up, then you are already 99% closer than everyone else. Because let's be honest, most people are here for a quick inspirational dopamine hit. They're not here to learn how to get rich online. They want to see a get-rich-quick scheme that they can try for a week, fail, then return to the comment section to blame everybody else and then doom scroll until the next big thing comes out. This is not one of those videos. It's not a get-rich-quick sugar high, and it's definitely not an online course that's going to teach you how to become a millionaire from your bedroom with your hands in your pants, sat on a beanbag chair. That is not this video. It is a legitimate online business model that can realistically help you make between 5 and 10 grand a month. But with those realistic results come realistic expectations. It takes time. You are going to have to practice a lot to make it work. There are going to be days where you wake up and you hate what you are doing. I'm talking blood-curdling tenacity to power through the shitstorm that is trying to start an online business. It's supposed to be hard. It's not supposed to be easy. If it was easy, everybody would do it. It's supposed to be hard. But I promise you, if you just stick with it, if you don't give up and just do what the 99% refuse to do, you'll undoubtedly be left with a lucrative career making between 5 and 10 grand a month online. Now, obviously you can push it further than that, but for the concept of this video and realistic expectations, what you can realistically expect to make, the general consensus is you can make at least 5 grand a month as long as you stick with it. If you're mediocre at what you do, at the skills that you're going to learn, you can make 5 grand a month. If you get good, you can push it to 10. If you're great, you can push it to 15. If you're absolutely exceptional like me, you can push it to 20 grand a month. Or if you're ungodly, otherworldly, world class, then you can push even further than 20 grand a month. But for the general consensus of this video, 5 to 10 grand a month is a realistic expectation, because your success with this skill is not determined by things out of your control. So it's not determined by algorithms or trends. You don't need to go viral on TikTok like you would for TikTok Shop, for example. And you don't need to find a trending winning product for a dropshipping store. The only thing that will determine your success is your dedication to learning and implementing what I am about to teach you through the duration of this video. That is the only thing that will determine whether or not this works, whether or not it doesn't. Because once you learn how to do it, it is a skill that is in demand all over the world by hundreds of business owners, sorry. All over the world, this skill is in demand. And the only thing that will stop you from making it work is your dedication and your persistence. And the best thing about it is you can literally start it right now. You don't need £1,000 to put on ad spend. And you don't need to invest in dodgy meme coins, which are going to make you a millionaire overnight. This doesn't require any investment. It requires technically an investment. You need one of these, this. But other than that, you don't need any investment. As long as you've got a laptop, a Wi-Fi connection, and an attention span that isn't chronically fried by TikTok and Instagram reels, then you're golden. You can make this work. You can make 5 to 10 grand a month online, as long as you listen to what I say. So grab a notepad, open a Google Doc, fucking carve this knowledge onto the bedroom wall, if that's what you have to do. Because I'm about to sit here for however long the video title says, however long it takes, with no cuts, no edits, no music, just fucking barebacking the entire playbook that I used to go from a financially malnourished underachiever to a successful 6-figure entrepreneur in less than a year as a beginner freelance content marketing expert. Beginner freelance content? Now I'm an expert, but I was a beginner when I first started. So make sure you're in a quiet room. Remove all distractions. Go for a piss, have something to eat, get a Red Bull, sit down, and get ready to lock in. Because the next 5, 6, 7 hours could genuinely change your life if you do what I'm about to tell you to do, and if you listen, take notes, and actually try and make this work. Comprende? Right, editor, bring the screen up, finally. So full content marketing course, make between 5 and 10 grand per month, learn for free. I should be charging through the fucking eyeballs for this course, but I'm not doing because I'm nice. I've even gone out of my way to buy 10 other courses online just so I can see what's inside them, so that I can put it all in here for free for you guys, so you don't need to go and buy them. So fuck all the shitty courses online that are charging through the eyeballs. I have put it all in this course on purpose, just to piss everyone off, just because I want to cause some drama. I've put it all in here for free. So save your money. You're getting it all for free in this course. So like I said, for the duration of this video, I will be giving you the life-changing knowledge which changed my entire life in less than 6 months. Jet skis, holidays abroad whenever I want, Rolex watches, and other cool shit that I couldn't do before because I was broke and I was a bum. And when I say I was a broke bum, I mean it. I come from a place called Burnley. Now Burnley, how the fuck do I describe Burnley? If you don't know where Burnley is, this is the best way to describe it. If you could take a heroin needle and turn it into a location on the map, that is Burnley. It is just one big fucking heroin dumpster. It is horrible. There's smackheads on every corner. You've got drug dealers fighting with machetes in the front street. It stinks of piss everywhere you go. There's fucking chapatis all over the floor and pigeons eating them. Everyone's constantly arguing. You've got fucking Karens coming out of the house with their hair in a ponytail and the pajamas on with a spliff in their mouth. It's a shithole. If you know what I mean, if you're from England and you know these type of places, it's a fucking shithole, right? And when I say it's a shithole, I am not exaggerating when I say that 20% of the people I grew up with are now drug dealers. And of the 80% who aren't drug dealers, 20% are addicted to the drugs being dealt by the other 20%. And then the rest, the other 60%, are making minimum wage and pissing their life away every single weekend in the same shit clubs, with the same shit people, drinking the same shit beer, talking about the same shit stories, having the same shit fights, and then returning back to the same shit life the day after. That is what life is like in Burnley, and that's what life has been like for me over the last 8 years. I've been exactly the same, because there was nothing else to do. I didn't know any other life that you could live. I was just so used to this life that I'd, like I say, gotten used to living, that I didn't know that there was another world out there, another way to live life. It was just get up, go to work, come home, wait for Friday, go out on Friday, have a few drinks, have a fight at the bar, come home, do it all again. There was nothing else. That was just life. And the concept of making money online just didn't exist. Like, my algorithm did not show me content like that. It just didn't exist to me, so it was never something I thought of. And so, you know, I failed all my exams at school and I got kicked out of college. I'm not going to tell you why I got kicked out of college, but let's just say it involves a copper pipe and someone's forehead. That's why I got kicked out of college. And after that, I bounced between minimum wage jobs. So I've been a window cleaner, I've worked in a factory, pushing like metal sheets around. I've worked in a slaughterhouse, chopping dead pigs up. That was by far the worst job I've ever had, but you do what you've got to do to survive. You know, I've done labouring, I've done construction, I've done a little bit of everything, but everything that I've tried I didn't like, and so I ended up quitting because I just couldn't stick to anything. I didn't like it, I hated everything. And so, because I hated everything, I've always had this insatiable urge to escape this life, but I never knew how to do it because, like I said, the concept of making money online was a completely foreign concept to me. It never even crossed my thoughts. And so the first thing I tried to escape was going into the army. Now, I went into the army when I was a little roadman. I was a chav, I thought I was proper hard. I used to go out drinking every weekend, or a knob with a bad attitude. And I went into the army and I could not do it. I got bullied by all the corporals, I got bullied by all the sergeants. They targeted me because I was a little roadman who thought it was something special, and I got bullied out of the army. Not ashamed to admit it. So I ended up quitting and leaving before I was locked in for 4 years. That was during basic training. I think I did about 3 months before I ended up quitting. After that, I came back and I wanted to be, I say tried to become a professional boxer. I wanted to become a professional boxer because I was good at it, because I'm brain dead, I'm from Burnley, I'm literally good at nothing else. The only thing I've ever been good at in my entire life is fighting. Problem is, I failed and it didn't work because I was going out drinking every weekend, I was tired after work, so I couldn't be arsed going to the gym, and I was really inconsistent with my training. And so every time I got a fight booked, I pulled out the week before the fight. Not ashamed to admit it. I pulled out the week before the fight pretending that I had an injury, when in reality I'd just not trained, so I was scared. I didn't want to get into the ring while I wasn't fit because they trained harder than me. I didn't want to get into the ring and get my head kicked in, so I quit. Pulled out of the fights. Which leads me on to, I have always been a pathological quitter. All my life I've been a pathological quitter. Everything I've ever done, all the jobs I've ever had, quit. All the hobbies I've ever tried, quit. All the attempts at everything I have ever done in my entire life, quit. And eventually I settled into security, which was easy because I was lazy and I liked fighting. But eventually I quit that as well. But I've got a genuine reason for that, which I'll tell you now. So I settled into security because it was easy peasy. I got to sit in the office all day just watching the cameras and patrol the hospital, and occasionally I would get to dump tackle someone onto the floor when the need arised for it. So I kind of enjoyed my job. And for 2 years, I settled into this kind of monotonous existence where I would go to work, I would just do my job, I would chill in the control room. That's where I met my girlfriend. She's a nurse, so I met my girlfriend at work. I worked in a hospital. I also did the nightclub doors at the weekend. And the money was pretty decent. It was just above minimum wage. I think back then, minimum wage was like £10 an hour. I was making something like £12.50 an hour. So I was absolutely minted. Like, you can imagine, £12.50 an hour. I was swimming in it. I was minted. So life kind of just settled into this, again, monotonous existence until this happened. Now, I'm not going to go into detail about what happened, but let's just say I was at work doing security, dealing with a situation, and the other guy won. That's all I'm going to say. So he ended up smashing all my face to pieces. Now all the nerve endings in one side of my face are completely jacked up. Like, I can barely feel my skin when I touch it on one side of my face. So it's all, when I smile, when I talk, I've got a bit of a Sylvester Stallone talk. So it really messed me up real bad. And after that, it just made me hate my job. When I say it made me hate my job, I just hated it. I was scared of confrontation. So every time a situation arose, I couldn't deal with it. I became the typical security guard that would hide in the bathroom. While everyone else did the work for him. And due to that, my co-workers started resenting me. Because every time something happened, I wasn't there to back them up. And when you're not there to back them up, especially in a place like Burnley, that's as bad as being a paedophile grass in prison. So you're a grass and a paedophile in prison. That is how you get treated if you don't back up your mates in Burnley. And so it was shit. I had a really shit time for over a year. And because of that, I was just in this perpetual state of crippling depression. Every day. I hated my life, I hated my job, it was horrible. I cannot put it into words. I cannot describe the pits of despair that I was in for those 18 months. It was horrible. And then just when shit couldn't get any worse, I got a phone call off my mum. Now, I live with my girlfriend, we live in a different house, but my mum rang me up and she was crying her eyes out. She was hysterical, and I've only ever seen my mum like that twice in my life. She was crying her eyes out, she was hysterical. And basically, the landlord, who we've been renting my childhood home from all my life, or now she's renting it, he wanted to sell the house. Don't know why, he just wanted to sell the house. He obviously didn't want it anymore. And so my mum got a notification saying she had 6 months to vacate the property. 6 months to vacate the property, that's our childhood home. We have put thousands into that house over the last 25 years. Thousands. Turning it from a house to a home. And he just fucking kicked us out, just like that. So basically, he rang her up. She was given 6 months' notice, and then she rang me up crying her eyes out. And at that moment, something just fucking snapped in my head. I don't know what it were. I have never felt anything like it in my entire life. But something just fucking snapped inside my head. And I told my mum on the phone there and then, I don't know what it were, but something clicked. And I just said, Mum, I promise you in the next 6 months, I will make the money. I will make the money, I will put a deposit down on the house, and I will get a mortgage on it. Obviously, I couldn't make 100 grand, but I can make enough, 15 grand, to put down a deposit on a mortgage. So that's what I said to her. So then I started looking at how to make money online, and that's when this concept of how to make money online came into reality for me. It was the first time I'd been introduced to it, and it was a very exciting time in my life. I was introduced to online gurus for the first time and hit with all these emotional triggers to make me feel like I was going to be rich, and it was amazing. It's a really fun time to be in that mindset where you think you're going to be a millionaire in 2 months. It was fun. It was fun. Even though it didn't work, it was fun. But for 6 months, I tried everything. I tried drop shipping, affiliate marketing, print on demand, Amazon FBA. I tried a little bit of everything. None of it worked. None of it worked. And after 6 months, the message finally came in. We were hoping that they'd forgot. The message finally came in. The landlord would like a valuation of the property. Your 6 months is over. You're getting booted, basically. And by this point, I just gave up. I just gave up. This was in the 9th of February. So by this point, yeah, I just gave up. I just thought it's not going to work. It's not going to work. There's nothing I can do. Fucked it. She's just going to get kicked out. So then we started looking for another place. And then literally a few weeks later, I saw a video about copywriting. Now, copywriting is one topic that we're going to discuss in this video. And if you've been watching my channel, you'll know all about copywriting. Copywriting is just one thing we're going to discuss. There's a lot more that we're going over in this. This is a content marketing course. But it was copywriting that I found. And so I watched this video and I thought, I have to make this work. I just knew. You know when you just know that something's going to work? Like, this was different. Like, when my mum rang me crying, something clicked and I kind of knew that I was going to make money online. This was the same feeling, but with copywriting. So I just knew that it was going to work. And so I just put all my energy into it. All my energy into it for over 2 months. I'm talking 12-hour days. I called in sick to work and didn't show up to work for 2 months just to make sure that I could do this. 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. Eventually, after 2 months, I closed my first client. I got about 400 quid. A week later, I closed another one. By the way, I found a secret outreach method, which is on my channel. I'm not going to be discussing it in this video, but there is another outreach method on my channel, which you can watch later. But there's a new outreach method, which I'm going to tell you in this video, so don't rush away. But I found an outreach method, and it worked. So I got 2 clients in the space of about a week. Then I got another one for 1,400 quid. Now, at this point, I'd never seen 3.5 grand in my bank before. That was fucking unreal. 3.5 grand. I had never seen that much money in my entire life. When I got paid from work, I got paid about £1,600 after tax and national insurance and pensions. And I got paid about £1,600. And 1,500 of that went on bills. And then the other 100 went on food. Like, I never had any money, ever. Like, to me, it's so mind-boggling that I survived for so many years living like that. But I never had any money. I had just enough money to feed myself for the month. And that is it. So when I had 3 grand in the bank, that was fucking unreal. And then a couple of weeks later, I signed another client for 2.5 grand. And now I had 5 grand in the bank. I'd never experienced anything like this in my life. It was amazing. And before I knew it, I'd signed so many clients in the space of 2 months that I had almost 17 grand in the bank. So between May and June, I'd made just shy of 5 grand. And between June and July, I'd made just shy of 12 grand. So altogether, I'd made, this screenshot was taken like at the end of July, sometime like that. But I ended up with 17 grand in the bank. And so that was it. I applied for a mortgage, and by the 6th of August, it was done. I bought my mum's house. So now I'm paying her mortgage for her. She's living rent-free for the rest of her life. And we've got our home. I secured it. I did it. It all paid off. All the hard work, all the blood, sweat, tears, shame. It worked. I'm going to teach you how to do it in this video. So since then, Since those first 2 months, I have worked with so many different brands doing their content marketing for them that I have lost count. This is not even a handful of the amount of brands I have worked with who have paid me. These are just the clients who I am still currently working for now. So these are just the clients that I am still writing copy for and writing content for. Not to mention the hundreds of others that I work for as well. And in the first 9 months, so between March 2024 when I first discovered it, 2 months later, I got paid for the first time, but within the first 9 months after my first payment, I'd made over 102 grand. Now it's 81,600 British pounds. Do some calculations, that's 102,000 US dollars for those of you who don't understand British pounds. So I've gone from this miserable security guard to someone who's loving life, who's pretty much at this point financially free. Now I'm by no means a millionaire, like I'm far from it. But I am far shout richer than I used to be. Like, I am more than 10 times richer than I used to be. And that's still not even close to being a millionaire. So I am now, in a sense, financially free. And it's incredible. And just a month after this screenshot was taken, so this screenshot was taken at the end of February. In the month of March, you can see my statement for the 1st of April, I made 13 grand. Well, debits is how much money's come out. This is how much money's gone in. That's the opening balance. I'd made 13 grand. In March, which was my best month so far at the time. And just last month, in the month of May, you can see my statement at 30th of May, just last month, I made £15,500. And for all of you, again, who don't understand Great British currency, £15,500 in 1 month is the equivalent to 21,000 United States dollars as of the 6th of June, the 4th of June. So I am, in effect, making 21 grand a month because most of you understand dollars more than pounds. And that's what I'm going to teach you how to do in this video. And when you start making that amount of money, things in life get better, such as being able to quit my job. I don't have to stand in manky warehouses with cobwebs and spiders falling on my head, listening to music that's so loud it's perforating my eardrums. Don't have to do it anymore. Standing up for 12 hours straight, getting weak knees. I don't have to walk around in a disgusting hospital, going home with fucking chlamydia after rugby tackling a fucking paedophile. Don't have to do it anymore. I quit my job and now I have got entire ultimate location freedom. I can work from wherever I want, whenever I want, however I want, for as long as I want. I am in complete control of my work life. I can work from the beach, I can work by the pool, I can work from a coffee shop, or I can sit in bed and work. I can literally do whatever I want, whenever I want to do it, and make a shit ton of money while I'm doing it. Now, like I said, I just want to reiterate that I am not a millionaire. I am far from it. I'm not driving around in Lamborghinis and buying yachts, not even close. I am broke compared to those guys. But compared to what I was before, I am fucking minted, and it is incredible. Now, not only can I work from wherever I want, but I can take care of my family. One, I bought my mum's house for her, so that's one thing. Now I'm paying her mortgage. I pay all the bills at home now, so now my girlfriend doesn't need to worry about paying bills. I can look after my family, I can feed the family. They don't need to worry about anything anymore. She is completely free from all the stress of life. I can take her on romantic holidays whenever I want to go, red carpet events, private limousines, romantic restaurants, and life-changing experiences I never could afford to do before. I couldn't even afford to go to Blackpool. And if anyone's from Northern England, you'll know that Blackpool is like the British Benidorm. Couldn't even afford to go to Blackpool before. Never mind Greece, Turkey, Spain. I've been everywhere. I've been abroad so many times in the last 12 months. Like, I've been loving life. It's amazing. So I can take care of my family, giving them these life-changing experiences that they could never have before. And not only can you have these life-changing experiences, but some of you are obsessed with material goods. That comes as well. The first thing I ever bought was a new car. I got rid of my old banger and I bought a nice new car. That was after the mortgage, the second thing I ever bought. I bought a nice new car, and like I said, it's by no means a Lamborghini, but that is a fucking, I love my car. I will never get rid of it. I'll get rid of it when it dies. That is when I will get rid of that car, even if I'm a millionaire. I fucking love it. Got rid of my banger. It used to break down every 2 weeks. Got a nice new BMW. I've moved off my shitty back street, and now I've got a nice big garden with a beautiful green field at the back. So now when I wake up in the morning and open the conservatory doors, instead of being met by the smell of piss, cheap weed and the sound of drug dealers fucking sword fighting with machetes in the street, now I'm met by the smell of freshly mown grass and birds tweeting in the distance. It is little things like that in life that I cherish. The luxury of not being stuck in fucking Burnley anymore. You can also buy nice new things like designer sunglasses and gold chains. Some of you are obsessed with stuff like that. And I can eat T-bone steak every single night if I so desire. And I bought a Rolex because I thought I'd treat myself. So if you want to change your life the same way that I have, then remove all distractions, get a notepad and pay attention, because in the next 6 to 8 hours, you will have everything you need to make between 5 to 10 grand a month. And I've already helped a few people do exactly the same thing. Like Gulfam, who's making $1,300 every single week, just sending a few emails to his own list. Ahmed, who is the star of my world's worst copywriter video, you can go and watch that on my channel. He couldn't even string a sentence together, and now he's making 7 grand a month. Or Demitar, who's making 4 grand a month. I've taught people how to do this. And before, and I know what you're all gonna say, before you all accuse me of making all my money from selling courses, feel free to go to the description of this video and meet all of my students in the Discord. I've got about 10 students, 5 of which are trained for free, and the other 5 paid me less than $1 grand for the training. So I have made, over the last 6 months, way less than $3 grand as a coach. All the money I make is from the skills I'm going to teach you in this video. If you don't believe me, go to my community in the description and ask my students. I've only got about 10. Nobody else is paying me money. I don't get money from anywhere else other than the skills that I am about to teach you. So if you want to join that team for free, I'm talking free coaching to give you that extra guidance, because materials are good, but reviews, feedback, things like that, it can exceptionally speed up your progress. So if you want free coaching for the whole month, there's 3 ways you can do it during this video. You can check the description after the video, join my community. You'll have to sign up to my newsletter and confirm your subscription to get the invite to my community. So sign up to the newsletter, join the community, and take part in my monthly outreach challenge, where the winner who does the most outreach and gets the best results will win a free month of coaching with me, all month. The second way is to leave a like on the video, comment down below, and I will pick 3 random comments to get free coaching for the entire month. 3 random comments, so comment something nice. And the final way that you can get free one-to-one coaching for a full month is to find one of the 12 codes scattered through this video. So there's 12 spaces. So 12 more people, that's 15 people altogether that are gonna get one-to-one coaching from this video. 16, I'll tell you in a minute. So the first 12 people to find those 12 codes and answer 1 question correctly about the video will win the coaching for an entire month. So that's 12 people. And finally, if you want free one-to-one coaching for the rest of your life and paid work once I feel like you're up to scratch, then all you have to do, and I mean lifetime coaching until you make 10 grand a month, then you can leave me alone. Lifetime coaching to guarantee that you will make 10 grand a month, find all 12 codes. First person to send me all 12 codes across the video and answer 5 questions about what's inside this video correctly will win lifetime coaching with me. All 12 codes, 5 answers correctly. And the reason I'm asking you questions is to make sure that people aren't either reading transcripts to quickly find the codes or skipping through really quickly to find the answer to the question. So make sure that you're watching the video in its entirety. And like I said, the first 12 people to DM me the code, a month of free coaching. The first person to DM me all 12, free coaching for life. Okay? I am here to help with this free course, which is going to absolutely blow your socks off. And when I say I'm going to be here for 5 hours, I didn't think that that intro was going to take 30 minutes, so it's probably going to turn into 10 hours. So, let's begin. What is content marketing? Content marketing is the entire process of selling online. You can learn these skills and sell yourself to business owners for thousands, or you can use them to sell your own offer if you want to make an offer. It's a combination of skills like copywriting, email marketing, SEO, workflow optimization, and many more skills. Now, don't worry about those fancy terminologies that you've never heard before. I'll explain them throughout the duration of this course. So an example of this is, as a content marketing expert, you can build entire infrastructures to help businesses make more money, and in turn, those businesses will pay you a healthy percentage, up to $5,000 a month. And the amazing thing about it is it doesn't take a lot of work. It sounds like it on paper, but it doesn't take a lot of work. And so you have the flexibility to sign more than one client at a time. So if you sign 4 clients paying you $5,000 a month, you can make $20,000 a month like me. I've got about 20 clients that all pay me about $1,000 a month because the workload is so low. I mean, I work literally about 2 hours per client per week, 2 hours a week per client, if that. So I'm getting $20,000 a month working for about 20 different businesses. And sometimes I don't do any content for them. I'm working about 30 hours a week at the moment on content writing to make $20,000 a month, which is still less than what I was working before in my full-time job. So, the skills that you will learn throughout the duration of this video. Copywriting will be the creme de la creme of your marketing skills. It's easy to learn, very simple to execute once you know what you're doing. But with copywriting comes a number of other skills that will back up your persuasive words. This is the difference between the content I have made in the past and the content that I am making now and in the future. I am diverting away from the skill of copywriting and talking more about content marketing as a whole, because copywriting is not enough. You need to know everything else. Things like email flows, different automated sequencers that do 90% of the legwork, social media ad funnels, understanding how to build a full funnel ad campaign, SEO, which is writing Google-friendly content that ranks on page 1, and AI prompts, learning how to use AI as a tool to improve work that's already good, rather than relying on AI. I'm going to teach you how to use it as a tool rather than relying on it, because if you rely on it, you're fucked, and I'll explain why as the course progresses. So, why content marketing is the best business model in 2025? First of all, the competition is abysmal. There are thousands of wannabe freelancers trying to succeed, and they're all terrible. You might be one of them. They're all targeting the same handful of niches for outreach, leaving the high-converting niches free for the taking. And people are lazy and over-relying on AI, which generates robotic, low-quality content. So this means it's really easy to stand out and deliver good work to clients. And obviously, they're all reaching out to the same handful of niches. I have an entire playbook on niches that you should be reaching out to in your outreach to get clients. Outreach is something that you do to get clients, so we'll get to that later. But I have an entire playbook on niches that are completely untapped, and I'll tell you in this video. It's also a high-income work-life balance. You can make as much or as little as you like. You can earn between $5,000 and $10,000 a month working 15 to 20 hours a week, or you can work full-time and earn all the way up to $25,000 a month like me. I work pretty much full-time. If I worked a little bit longer, I could push it a little bit further. If you can send a message, you can land a client. This isn't a gamble, it's a learnable, repeatable process with zero dependency on algorithms and fads, like I mentioned in the beginning of this video. The only thing that will stop you from making this work is yourself. Whether you don't take enough time to learn, don't take enough time to practice, or don't take enough time trying to get clients. Once you learn, you've learned and you're good. Once you've practiced and you've done it and your work is good, it's good. So therefore, you now have a skill that's in demand. So all you have to do is keep reaching out to clients until you get one. It is that simple. Now, yes, it can take a long time to get a client, but I've got a method which is going to help you get one a little bit quicker, but it's still going to take you a long time. It's still a grind. It took me over a month to get my first client. I was outreaching daily, sending 30 outreach every single day without getting a bite, until I managed to make it work. So it was difficult, very, very difficult. But if you just keep doing it, you will eventually get a bite. And all you need is one bite. Because once you get a bite, you do the work for them, you deliver good results, and now you've got case studies. And once you've got case studies and testimonials and evidence to back up what it is you're promising these businesses, it becomes a lot easier to sign more clients after that. Because one of the biggest objections you're going to get in sales calls is a client asking you what results they can expect and what results have you done before. Now, it's very hard, and I'm going to teach you how to do it, so don't worry about it, but it is still very hard to get around that question if you've never done it before. When you have done it before, it's very easy, because then you can say, well, I did content marketing for this business, and I improved their conversions by 20% for a total of $10,000 a month more to their business. Ooh, that sounds good. Trust me when I say businesses will happily pay you $5,000 a month if it means making them an extra 40 grand a month, 100%. So lesson 4, mindset. I kind of just rambled a little bit about mindset then, but we're going to keep going. Nothing happens overnight. This game takes time. You're going to write a lot of unpaid content before someone finally sends you cash. That is completely normal. Don't let it get you down. It's part of the process. Like I said, people don't want to do that. They think they're just going to get paid immediately. It doesn't work like that. You have to get through the first few months of grinding before you start getting paid. That is why there's so many people who fail and so few people who succeed. But the ones who do succeed, like me, it's fucking worth it. You just don't quit. You just keep going. That's business. The hardest work happens before the first pound or dollar. Grinding when there's no money coming in is the real test. Pass it and you'll never have to work that hard again. Ever. I just chill. It's so easy. I can write with my eyes closed. I can do content with my eyes closed. It's easy. I enjoy doing it. I'm creative. I like writing. It's so easy now to work. It's a joke. So you will never have to work that hard in your entire life. You just have to get past those first few months where it's really hard. Your first client changes everything. One yes makes the whole thing real. Money comes in, your confidence boosts, and your growth starts to snowball once you've got case studies to back yourself up, like I just said. Imposter syndrome isn't real. You'll never feel ready. Learn the skills, check your work, and then launch into outreach. Don't wait for confidence. It comes after action. Your only objective is to get a client no matter what. Real clients teach more than any lesson ever will. More practice is great, but nothing beats the job for real. The goal is to get a client no matter what. You will improve exponentially faster in the real world. And finally, most people quit before it gets good. There's 2,000 wannabe freelancers showing up every single week, and 1,999 disappear the week after. Don't be them. Stick around and you will win by default. The only thing stopping you is you. So, copywriting basics for beginners. This is the first skill, and we're going to go very in-depth into it. More in-depth than any other videos on copywriting on my channel. So if you're an existing subscriber, there's going to be some stuff that you've seen before, and a lot of stuff that you haven't, really advanced stuff. So what is copywriting? Copywriting is the art of persuasion through words. It is writing text that is designed to persuade people into spending money on a product or service. Copywriting is a high-value skill that businesses will pay you thousands for. If a business generates 200 grand per month without the help of a professional copywriter, then by implementing your help and using copywriting techniques, that copywriting will generate more sales and boost that 200 grand to 250 grand. Therefore, a business will happily pay you 5 grand a month if you're making them an additional 45 grand a month. They will happily pay that. So, lesson 3. Have I missed a lesson? Oh my God, lesson 5. I should have gone through and edited this PowerPoint. Lesson 2, different types of copy. There's 3 different types of copy, 2 of which consist of traditional or conversion copywriting, and the other gets a little bit more complicated. So conversion copywriting, there's 2 types. There's direct response, which is the most well-known copy type, which is designed to get an immediate response from the reader, or branded copy, which is the most useful type of traditional copy. It's designed to warm up potential leads by highlighting brand attributes and providing free value. This will be expanded on later in the video. And then finally, SEO copywriting or SEO content writing, a lesser known form of copywriting and much more advanced. It's designed to appeal to human readers and search engine bots to help websites rank for a specific search queries to generate organic website traffic. So if I built a landing page, which is just a website page for people who don't know the jargon, if I built a website page and I called it how to make money with content marketing, and I optimized it to the search engine, if you ever went on Google and typed in how to make money with content writing, my website page would pop up first, competing against hundreds of thousands of other websites trying to do it. Mine would pop up first. That's what search engine optimization is, and it brings in so much money and leads, it is unbelievable. It is by far the most in-demand service I have ever done in the last year of being a content marketer. So, where do you write copy? That probably blew your ears off, I'm so sorry. So where do you write copy? Anywhere that has text on it. If you don't know what copywriting is, it is anything that is designed to sell something. Emails, for example. Just have a look at some random emails in my inbox. So this one from Ian Stanley. This is copywriting. Fuck off out of storage. This is copywriting. What you can see on the screen right now is copywriting. Click here to check it out. Whatever he's written there, you can pause it and read through it if you want. But I'm going to get into it more in depth later on. But whatever he's written is designed to make you click that link. And this guy is quite a well-known copywriter. So whatever he's written probably does a good job of making you click on that. That is what copywriting is, making someone take action. You've got social media posts in copywriting. Everything you see. You're not busy, you're scared, but fear doesn't show up as a monster with a mask on. It shows up as an overbooked calendar. Blah, 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 blah. That is copywriting. Whoever's written that caption is either him or a copywriter. Ads. I'm sure you've all seen ads before. See if I can find an ad. I can't actually remember what I linked here. This.
Showed the world a selling system that got picked up by the press and went super viral.
Wow, so that means a selling system that works really well. Oh my God. Copywriting. The person that wrote that script is a copywriter. The script that he's reading from is copywriting. Scripts, there it is. I'm not going to click on that one because I've just shown you. Websites. This is my website. Now, at the moment of recording this video, it's still under development. If you're watching this video in 2 weeks, it'll be finished completely. It's just started development 2 days ago. But everything you see on this website is also copywriting. Seriously savvy content that increases your sales. So good, it should probably be illegal. Email marketing. Spam folder? Never heard of her. We write emails that people actually want to read and almost always buy from. Social media copy. You're dealing with goldfish. You've got 6 seconds to capture their attention, and our scroll-stopping hooks can do just that. Copywriting. About us. We're a friendly team of word-loving weirdos that's seriously good at boosting sales. Believe it or not, selling your offer isn't about screaming buy now louder than everyone else. It's about making people genuinely want to buy, and that's exactly where we shine. Copywriting. That is what you do. You make people buy. And obviously it's still under development. Guy with beard and young guy with tash is not the job roles of my team. These were just quick ideas for creating our little characters to add some personality and some creative uniqueness to the website. But by the point of watching this video, this should hopefully be finished. If not, oh well. But that's website copywriting. Posters that have copywriting. Everything you need to know about content advertising. Oh my God, click the link to find out. That's copywriting. That one headline is copywriting. And finally, pub bathroom condom dispensers have copywriting on them. Extra strong capsules, Durex pleasure, go for ultimate enjoyment. Ribbed and dotted to stimulate you both. Copywriting. It's designed to make you want to buy it. Everything you see is copywriting. So, where do you actually write the copy? Where do you do it? You do it on Google Drive. So when you start working as a content writer or a copywriter, you're going to write everything on Google Drive, which is this, Google Workspace. Just go to workspace.google.com or just type in Google Drive on Google and it will bring you to this. Set up an account, and it will bring you to Google Drive. You basically just create a Google Doc and just get to work. And you're going to see a lot of Google Docs throughout the duration of this video. So don't worry about that. Now, one of the biggest misconceptions in copywriting is that you need an advanced level of English writing skills. This is not true. You only need basic writing skills to succeed as a copywriter because complex vocabulary and intricate wordplay can confuse potential buyers and take away from the power of the copy. Not only that, but even if you write in broken English, you can use AI to proofread your work to make sure that its readability is good. And I'm going to show you how to correctly use AI and not rely on it to generate content. You never want to generate content with AI. I will explain more later on in the video, but generating content with AI is the worst thing that you can do. You only want to use AI to speed up your work by proofreading what you've handwritten. Because when you handwrite it, you do it correct. The messaging hierarchy is correct, the persuasive words are correct, etc., etc. You specifically tell AI just to proofread it to make it readable. And that speeds up your work a lot because proofreading usually takes just as much time as writing the email, if not longer. I spend so much time proofreading my emails now, I just get AI to do it for me. But you have to handwrite them first, using the knowledge that you are going to learn, because AI can't do it. You actually need that knowledge inside your brain. You need to put that knowledge onto paper, so you can't tell AI to write an email and then tell it what to do. Just write the fucking email yourself. You spend that much time prompting AI. Anyway, I've got that in a different thingamabob, but you don't need an advanced level of English writing because one, AI can make it read in English, and two, you're not supposed to use complex words anyway. You're supposed to keep it simple. So when writing copy, particularly emails and social media posts, you need to keep your copy simple and easy to read. That means short, to the point lines of text that are easy to navigate. That doesn't mean writing copy like this so that they can read it a bit longer. That is shit. I'll show you more examples later on. I'm not showing you examples just yet, but examples are going to come and you'll see what I mean by a readable format. Vocabulary, don't be a smart ass. Use simple, easy to understand language in all of your copy. A bad example would be, there's a plethora of resources you'll gain access to. Shit. Good example would be, we have a ton of resources that you can use. Simple, easy to read, and it delivers the same message more clearly. So some basic sales techniques. The secret of writing effective copy comes from understanding basic sales techniques. There's only two main techniques that you need to understand for your copy to work the way it should. IPS, or DIC, or PAS, or whatever you're used to if you already know something about copy. I call it IPS. Identify a problem, propose a solution, and solve the problem. So identify a problem. You want to describe the problems associated with the product or service that you are writing about in your copy. And again, I'm going to show you some examples. So relax if I'm confusing you or if I'm going too fast. I'm going to show you some examples as we progress through the course. So relax, it's coming in about 10 minutes. But when you start writing copy, the first thing you're going to do in your copy is describe the problems associated with the product or service that you're writing about. This is going to hook the reader. So if I said to you, for example, in an email, are you sick of waking up at 7 a.m. and dragging yourself to work? You're hooked because most of you are. So then you're going to be like, yeah, I am. So then you're going to keep reading. Then you're going to propose the solution. What if I told you didn't have to get up at 7 a.m. to go to work and instead could wake up whenever you want and work whenever you want? Introduce a solution to those problems by describing the benefits of fixing their issues. This is going to create desire within the reader. Hope. It's going to build emotion, make them want to solve this problem that it is that you've just talked about. And then solve the problem. Pitch the product or service that acts as the solution to their problems. Well, guess what? My free online content marketing course is going to teach you how to escape this dreaded employment despair. And then they're going to click, they're going to watch the video. Yeah? So that is a general template of how to write copy, and I'll show you an example later. The next one is the 4 big emotions. Now, this is not a template, these are just points that your copy needs to hit, things that need to be mentioned. Not always, but especially for like material products or e-commerce, these are things that you need to be hitting, 4 big emotions. New, easy, safe, and big. New releases, newest models, the latest in scientific technology. Easy to use, requires no effort, you don't have to do anything. No risk, free, money back guarantee. Big results, everybody is doing it, everybody is buying it. If you hit these 4 big emotions in your copywriting, it is exponentially more likely to sell than if you don't. So if you use these 2 things, you can generally write good copy. It gets a little bit more complicated, but again, all that's going to be covered in this course. But that is the general consensus. IPS and include NSBE in the solution section. Now I've got something here. I'm not going to show you the full video because I've already done this in one of my other videos. But basically, if you haven't seen it, go and watch Copywriting Basics for Beginners. I completely throw this thing out of the water, but I'm just going to give you an example of how it works. So imagine this can of Red Bull is actually a bottle of water. If you've seen Grant Cardone asking people to sell him water and they all fumble over their words, absolutely ridiculous. Even Grant Cardone doesn't know what he's talking about. If you've seen that, then you'll know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, go and watch it. I'm not playing it now. But imagine trying to sell a bottle of water using what I've just told you. So the first thing you're going to do is identify a problem, propose a solution, solve the problem. So let's identify a problem. So you wouldn't do this in copywriting. You do this beforehand with something called market research. I'll teach you about that as well. But if I was in like a one-to-one situation, the same thing applies. This is more sales. It's basic sales techniques rather than copywriting techniques. So first thing I would say to Grant, if he said, sell me this water, I'd say, right, what's the biggest problem associated with water? What is the need to buy water? Why would someone need to buy water? With anything, you ask yourself that. If it's a camera, why does someone need to buy a camera? If it's a laptop, why does someone need to buy a laptop? If it's a screen, why does someone need to buy a screen? Always pick the desire for buying that product. That's the first thing you need to figure out before you write copy. Write that down. You should be writing everything down, by the way. So, what is the desire? What is the need? Right, thirsty. Are you thirsty? There's two possible answers. You can either say yes or no. If he says yes, then the sale is easy. That's when we start talking about problems and solutions. So let's start with the problem. Yes, you're thirsty? Well, did you know that even a mild state of dehydration can drastically reduce your cognitive functions? Not only that, but it's scientifically proven that being dehydrated can reduce your mood as well. Now, if you're sat here interviewing people and telling them to sell you a bottle of water to try and figure out whether or not they're good salesmen, you just told me that you've been sat here all day interviewing people. I can't imagine that's fun. So why then would you want the dehydration of not having a bottle of water ruining your mood even more? Or, even worse, reducing your basic cognitive functions so you can't make informed decisions. I could be the best salesperson in the world sat in front of you right now, and you wouldn't know it because your cognitive functions are fucked because you're dehydrated. Well, lucky for you, I've got a bottle of water. You don't need to get up. You don't need to walk to the vending machine. You don't need to spend $2 on an overpriced bottle of water that's warm. This one's cold. It came straight out of the fridge, and I've got it right here for you. And I'll sell it you for $1, saving you the time of getting up and walking to the vending machine, saving you 50% on what you would normally spend, and delivering a more pleasant experience of drinking the water than warm, horrible vending machine water. Would you like to buy it? Yes, and he would buy it. He would be very impressed with that. If I sat in front of Grant Cardone and said that to him, he would cream in his knickers. So that is basic selling techniques. If he says no, then all you need to do is figure out whether the desire will appear in the future. So if he says he's not thirsty, then you just do the exact same thing but add a little bit on at the beginning. So this is something called mindset shifting. And it's another technique that you're going to learn in this video. A mindset shift is making someone believe they have a problem if they don't think they do. So if he says he's not thirsty, that means he doesn't think he has a problem. Well, I'm going to make him think he's got a problem. And this is what makes copywriting so powerful when you get good at it. You make him think he's got a problem. Right, it's currently 1 o'clock in the afternoon. You're going to be sat here interviewing people all day until 5 o'clock, I assume. You might not be thirsty now, but you're going to be thirsty at some point. Do you really want to risk mild state of dehydration, reduced mood, and not only that, you're going to have to get up, you're going to have to pause the meeting, you're going to have to waste time going to the vending machine, you're going to have to spend $2 on a warm bottle of tap water when I've got a cold, refreshing bottle of water here for 50% off, $1. You get me? So you just make them feel like that desire is going to come about eventually. It's called a mindset shift. Make them think they have a problem if they don't already think they have a problem. It's very easy to do. It's not complicated. So those are your basic selling techniques. That concludes Unit 1. Unit 2 will teach you all about direct response. Now, before we continue, have you been taking notes? If you really want to start making money, now is the time to commit. With that being said, piss break. I need a wee. Go for a piss, have something to eat, pause the video. Do not just run away. Piss break, it's going to be a split second for you. Is this, it's just going to snap, and the next bit is going to begin. I'm going to teach you about direct response, and this is how to really push for that sale, right? This is how to make your copywriting really good. So run off, have a piss really quick. I'll see you in a second. Right, now it should be recorded. I just sat there and did like 5 minutes of the lesson without recording. Fuck my life. So that concludes Unit 1. Make sure that you're locked in because this now is where it starts getting real. We're talking about direct response copywriting, which is hard selling. getting an immediate response from the reader. So the first thing you want to do is applying the basic sales techniques to your direct response copy. Emails are the best type of copy to practice direct response, but the general rules of writing direct response copy apply everywhere. So if you're writing a website page, if you're writing an ad, if you're writing a social media post or an email, if you're using direct response, it applies everywhere. But we're just going to use emails as an example because they're the easiest things to write and it's the easiest way to demonstrate how to use direct response techniques. So the first thing you want to do is identify a problem. Then you want to agitate the reader by describing that problem in detail and how it affects their day-to-day life. Then you're going to propose the solution and talk about how that problem could potentially be solved, and then fortify the proposition by talking about how your product can solve that problem and the benefits of solving that problem, and then secure the call to action. Now remember, direct response is all about getting a response. That is the outcome that you're aiming for, whether it's a click, whether it's a sign up, whether it's a comment, whether it's a like, whether it's a purchase, sale, whatever response you are trying to get from the reader, that is what direct response is trying to do. You are trying to get an immediate response. Get action to be taken. And again, I'm going to teach you how to do it through the slides over the next 15 minutes, and then I'll show you an example of how it's applied to an email. And it will also be applied the same everywhere else, whether it's websites, articles, blah, blah, blah. So building emotion. The key to making your copy convert is to spark emotion in the reader. Your copy needs to speak to the reader's soul, describing in detail their struggles, hardships, dreams, and desires, and then using that emotional connection to manipulate them into spending money. During practice, you can pick a niche that you're familiar with to help you get the hang of it. But when doing practical work for clients, you may be required to write for an audience you're unfamiliar with. So that's where market research comes into things. And this is your first instance of AI. Now, let me just talk about driving action before I talk about AI. So driving action. So you want to use basic sales techniques, and within those basic sales techniques, you are trying to spark emotion within the reader. Once you spark that emotion, you've proposed the solution, you're then going to drive action. And this is all about making the reader think they will die if they don't act immediately. Bit of an exaggeration, but that's the general consensus. You can do this by putting urgency onto your call to action using these techniques. You can either invoke fear, so invoke fear in the reader by articulating the fact that if they don't take action now, it may be too late for them. Click here now before stock runs out. That's just a brief example of urgency. Or you can create urgency by reiterating the benefits. When prompting the reader to take action, reiterate what they'll get by doing so. Don't just say click here now, say click here to get lifetime access to my programming community before the door closes. That is how you drive action with urgency. So market research, you're going to use AI for market research. This is the first instance of where you're going to use AI and where AI is good. You're not going to use AI to generate copy. You're going to use it to generate ideas for you to write the copy about. Because it doesn't know which ideas to use. It'll pick the wrong ones, trust me. So these are the prompts that you're going to use, and then I'm going to click on this little link and show you what I've done within an AI chat to show you how it works. So there's 6 questions that you're going to ask AI in total, and you will have everything you need to write A-list copy with just 6 prompts. What are the main problems associated with consumers in the X niche? What are the negative implications of those problems? Give me some real life examples. How will those problems make the reader feel if they aren't solved? This is where you find the emotion to target, how to build the emotion. Ask how the reader will feel if they don't solve their problem, and you can write that in your copy. Then how could X, the product, solve those problems for consumers in the X niche? What are the benefits of solving those problems in the X niche? Give me some real life examples. And how will the consumer feel once those problems are solved? So this is how you build more emotion. This is how you create the desire and the hope and the actual need to buy the product that it is that you are writing for. So let's see it in action. I've used all those exact prompts to generate all of these responses. And I'm quickly going to breeze through them. What are the main problems associated with people who smoke? So this is what I'm targeting, people who smoke cigarettes. So what are the main problems associated with people who smoke? So you can change it a little bit to make it make sense. Then it's going to come up with all the problems associated with smoking. Health problems, financial problems, social and lifestyle issues, environmental problems, psychological effects. And what you're going to do is you're going to dissect all these problems and find the ones that hit home the most. So find the problems that have the most amount of negative impact on the reader and also have an impact on the largest number of people reading the copy. So an example of this is one problem which every smoker has is bad breath. Your breath stinks. So that is a problem that you can target. It's something that people are insecure about, and it's something that everyone who smokes suffers with. They've got bad breath. Not everyone has cancer, so it's not an immediate problem that you can target. It's not urgent enough to solve. Everyone knows that you're going to get cancer by smoking. It doesn't stop them from smoking. So it's not an immediate problem. You need to find something immediate, like bad breath, for example. So find the problems which stick out like a sore thumb and have an immediate consequence on the reader if they're not immediately solved. Next prompt, what are the negative implications of those problems? Give me some real life examples. So now it's going to give you real life examples. Severe illness, permanent damage, shortened lifespan. Drains money that could be used for savings, education or emergencies. Social exclusion and relationship tension. Your girlfriend don't want to kiss you because your breath stinks. Littering and fires caused by cigarettes. No one cares about that. What starts as a stress relief mechanism often fuels long-term anxiety and depression, so you feel like shit if you don't smoke. Things like that. Next, how will those problems make the smoker feel if they aren't solved? How are they going to feel? I can't breathe, fear, regret, helplessness. I could have gone on holiday, guilt, stress, shame. People avoid me, embarrassment, loneliness, insecurity. That's a big one for this one. In my opinion, insecurity is one of the biggest ones. I know it's bad, but I try not to think about it. Denial, disconnection, irritation. These are all emotions that you can build within your copywriting. How could an e-cigarette, so this is the thing that I'm trying to sell in the email, how could an e-cigarette solve those problems for a smoker? An e-cigarette, or vape, isn't a magical fix, blah, 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 but how can it solve the problems? They don't burn tobacco, which is where most of the deadly stuff comes from. This is incredible. While not 100% safe, they're considered 95% less harmful than smoking, so that's a big one. So that's a benefit of it. Monthly spend is typically half, so they're going to save money. Socialise confidently, the breath doesn't stink, etc., etc. So you get the general idea. So real life examples, and then how will it make the reader feel once they start smoking e-cigarettes instead of fags? Refreshed, financially empowered, mentally clear and in control, emotionally connected, socially comfortable. So now you can use all this information to write really emotionally compelling copy that gets the job done, okay? So we'll return to this soon. We'll come back to it. For now, let's show you the example that I came up with using all of that information. Now, I actually wrote this email a long time ago, about a year ago, before I even used AI for research, and I pretty much hit the nail on the head. Now, this email is not proofread, by the way. I just want to clarify that. Again, I wrote this email a year ago. I've improved a lot since then, so I have proofread it. Now, I had an AI proofread version and then a human proofread version. I'm going to show you how to do these two things later on in the course. But for now, let's have a look at the first draft. So color-coded, identify a problem, agitate the reader, propose a solution, fortify the proposition, call to action. So how do you identify the problem? Are you sick of having bad breath and smelly fingers? Me too. Do you want to be free of the ash in your eyes and your unquenchable thirst for cancer? Those stinking cigarettes leaving burns on your sofa, dyeing your curtains yellow, or leaving you shivering in the cold, trying to keep your home free from those little sticks of destruction. What do you actually get out of being a smoker? Problem. Now you're going to agitate that problem. Ah, that's right, you're addicted, just like I was. But if you're reading this email, it means you're ready for change. Agitate them. You're sick of smelling like an ashtray and wasting $20 a day filling your lungs with toxic fumes. Now you're using real-world examples. Let me try and guess what you've already tried. Nicotine patches, nicotine chewing gum, 25 packets of crisps per day. Did any of it work? If it did, you wouldn't be reading this email. So now you're agitating the problem. So it's time to introduce the solution. Why didn't it work? Whatever it may be, I know the real reason why you can't quit. You're addicted. You're addicted to the hit. the luxurious sensation of nicotine hitting your throat and soothing your mind. That is why you can't quit. So what do? Introduce the solution. It just so happens that we have a solution, the Crystal Bar, small enough to have on the go, rechargeable battery, 2 dozen flavours. Choose from a wide selection of sweet fruit punch to a cool menthol ice. So what? This is something we're going to cover in depth later, the so what method. Don't worry too much about it yet, but we'll cover it later on. But what I'm doing here is by fortifying the proposition, whenever you list features, ask yourself, so what? Who cares? Dozen sweet flavours to choose from? Forget the days where bitches run from your toxic breath and breathe physical attraction as you fill the room with enticing flavours. Oh, so that's why it's a good idea to have fruity flavours instead of smoke. Cool. No more burns on your sofa, no more ash in your eyes, and best of all, they're scientifically proven to be significantly less harmful than smoking cigarettes. So now you've fortified the benefits of choosing this. So now it's time to drive action with urgency. For this week only, we're offering everyone who clicks this link the option to buy one of our Crystal Bars and get one completely free. Get yours now before the 10th of November and watch your addiction be soothed by our tasty vapor. And P.S. contact us and let us know how many bitches you fucked after sweetening your lips with the Crystal Bar. That is generally how you write an email. All right? That's generally how you do it. So that's a pretty good email. It's much better, the final version, but we'll get to that when we get to it later on in the course, once we get to the advanced section of copywriting. So now you have a general idea of how to write copy. That is what a copywriting email looks like. You've talked about the problem, you've agitated it, you've presented the solution, and then you've given them the option to purchase the solution. So, now that direct response is concluded, we get into branded copywriting, and this is going to take up 90% of the copywriting that you do. Branded copywriting is more important than direct response because, like you saw on my website page, right at the beginning where I showed you that as an example, screaming buy now louder than everybody else is not going to make you more sales. It's about what you do before you scream buy now, and that is branded copywriting. So lesson 1, highlighting brand attributes. This is branded copywriting. Think of brand attributes like a brand's personality traits, the stuff that makes them unique, recognizable, and memorable. When you highlight brand attributes in copywriting, you're making sure that every word, phrase, and message reflects what the brand stands for. If a brand is luxurious, your copy should feel premium, refined, and sophisticated. Think about sleek, minimal wording and elegant tone. If your brand is fun and playful, your copy should be full of energy, wit, and conversational charm. Let me just zoom back now to the link to my website, wherever it is. There it is. So this is me highlighting my brand attributes in my website copy. Playful. Seriously savvy content that increases your sales. We're so good, it should probably be illegal. Full of energy, full of creativity. Now, if I was a straight-to-the-point, no-nonsense businessman, it would read something like, optimizing conversions for business owners around the world. We are excellent in maintaining conversion rates and increasing da-da-da-da-da. So that would be highlighting brand attributes. Professional, no-nonsense. That make sense? Where were we? Branded copywriting. So that's how you highlight brand attributes. You make sure that the copy matches the brand. You're highlighting who the brand is, their personality. You're not just writing about the brand, you're making sure that every sentence sounds, feels, and embodies the brand's core identity. Whether it's in website content, social media, or emails, your copy should reinforce the brand's values, tone, and voice, making it unmistakable and irresistible to your target audience. I've got an example there, but it's shit. What I just showed you is a better example. So when you're highlighting brand attributes, it is the brand's core identity. So if you were writing for someone like Andrew Tate, you would just use the word fuck in every single sentence and pussy in every single sentence. And that would be highlighting brand attributes. Lesson 2, the second way that you can write branded copywriting is by creating value. The second type of brand copy is content that provides free value to the reader. This builds authority and trust within the brand and helps warm up leads for potential sales later down the line. It is important with this type of copy that you do not try to sell the reader. If you're including CTAs, they must be very light and completely optional. No urgency. So if you're including call to actions, it's not buy now or die with loads of urgency. It's Check this out if you're interested. The best approach with call to actions in this type of copy would be to redirect the reader to something that expands on the value you're already giving them. That way, anyone who clicks on the link is showing clear interest in the topic you are informing them about. And this is going to be key later on when we talk about something called market sophistication, because you can see who's showing that type of interest, and then you can write copy specifically for them. So that's when we're going to get into market sophistication later on. So let me give you an example of copywriting that gives free value. Sign clients faster by doing this. So immediately I am targeting a problem within content marketing, which is signing clients, which is very difficult, and I'm giving them some free advice and free value on how to do it faster. So straight away, free value. And that is what the email is. It's all just teaching them how to sign clients quickly. So I'll quickly read through some of it. I released my outreach method a few months ago and I've had mixed responses from you all. Some guys have seen a rapid amount of success with this strategy and others have been struggling to utilize it correctly. I'm here to clear that up so you can blitz this outreach method and sign your first client fast, just like Oliver did. Testimonial to prove that it works. So now you've built that trust within the reader. They trust you. Let's walk you through it. Stage 1, optimize your ads. Teach them how to optimize their ads. But don't teach them everything. Kind of do teach them everything, but it's supposed to be confusing because you can watch my tutorial here and I'll show you how to do it. You're getting the click. Now it's not urgent, it's not immediate, and it's not click this or you will die. This is how you do it, but if you want to see how to do it a little bit clearer, you can click this link if you would like to. That is what branded copywriting is. So now you're building trust, you're creating that interest. Same again, locate the ads, tell them how to do it, click this link to see how to do it. More, stage 3, mass outreach, If you want to do it, watch this video, here's how much money I've made. Using this outreach method, you can do it too. Bosh. So that is how you create free value. Create free value by literally giving them something for free. Now, it doesn't have to be information. If you're writing for an e-commerce brand, it could just be a 20% discount, for example. Free value can be anything. It can be information, it can be discount, anything that the reader would find valuable. It can be templates, literally anything. Just think to yourself, what would my audience like for free? And then give that to them. And that is what free value is, just giving them something that they want to receive. So that's the second type of email. The third type of email is comparison copywriting. So this is kind of direct response, but at the same time it's not. It's kind of like in purgatory between branded copywriting and direct response. So comparison copy is all about comparing your product to your competitor's product. Very simple. Use storytelling to hide your intentions because this is not a mass sale, this is just a branded email, an interesting email. Don't directly name any of your competitors. Now you can, but you shouldn't. General consensus is just don't do it. Bullet point the negatives of other competitive products. So don't bullet point the positives, bullet point the negatives. And sometimes then reinforce your product by bullet pointing the positives of your product, but you don't always have to do it. Sometimes it builds more intrigue when you don't bullet point the positives of yours, you make them click a link to find out what they are. That builds a lot more intrigue. And use a well-placed call to action at the end of the email that doesn't build urgency. So again, this is an example of comparison copy. How YouTube gurus scam you. Last week, I read a comment asking me to start my own copywriting community. I brought the idea up with a friend and this was his response. Everyone is building shitty-ass communities these days. I wouldn't waste your time. And it got me thinking, what did I need when I first started copywriting? And what didn't I get, even after joining the most popular communities? I'm not creative enough to come up with new ideas, so let's look at what people are already doing instead. If I was going to build a shitty-ass community, what would it need? Then we're going to start talking about the negatives of all the other communities. Lazy inactive admin, random person running the community, lack of incentive for engagement and progression leading to dead channels and inactive members, unclear directions or instructions that don't help, overpriced low quality content being stuffed down members' throats, outdated incorrect information being released to the community, and regular motivational content to keep members believing that the community is good when in reality it's shitty. So now you've listed off the negatives. So now we're going to build some intrigue for what I've done. Fuck. Being that fake and that sleazy sounds like more effort than it's worth. Maybe I'll never be able to build a shitty ass community like everyone else. Or maybe, just maybe, I could try building a community that doesn't include all that sleazy, lazy, low quality bullshit. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Begins building community, ... finished. How does it look? That is an automatic invitation. So if they want to see how it looks, they have to click and accept the invite, and bosh, they're in the community. Just like that. And I might send that email to you guys soon. If this video gets a lot of attention, I'll send this out so you can all join my community. For now, you can sign up to my newsletter in the description, and as long as you follow the steps of my little email funnel, so you'll sign up, you're going to have to answer a questionnaire so that you get put in the right segment, because if you don't answer the questionnaire, I won't send you any emails. So quickly answer the questionnaire, it takes 27 seconds. You'll get a confirmation email, which will probably go in your junk folder. So for 30 minutes after signing up, keep checking your junk, move it to the primary inbox, and then click confirm subscription to double opt into my newsletter. And that way, you'll start getting emails from me. Once you do that, you'll get a welcome email, and then a few hours later, you'll get another welcome email based on what you answered in the survey, and that will contain all the stuff that will help you. So templates, community access, stuff like that. So sign up to the newsletter. It sounds complicated, but it's not. Just do what I tell you to do in the emails. So sign up to the newsletter. You'll get access to my community where everyone is helping each other. It's an absolutely amazing community. We've got 130 members at the moment because I'm still a small channel. It is absolutely amazing how much of a little family we've turned into. It's brilliant. So you're missing out if you're not in there with us. So sign up to the newsletter, make sure you join. Now, combine everything with storytelling. This is the fourth type of brand copywriting. This is where you combine everything that I've just told you into one email. Storytelling is the best method of sales in the world, and it's an excellent way to blend your sales message into what appears to be valuable, entertaining, or informational piece of content. You can use storytelling on any medium. That's emails, ads, websites, etc. Anywhere you can use storytelling. It's the best method of sales in the world. And I'm going to show you an example that was written by one of my students. And he has become so good at copywriting that I'm even showing off his video. I'm even showing off his email because it is that good. It is really good. This is a really high level piece of copy. First name, I just finished recording a 45-minute interview with Myron Golden, aka the $40 million man and one of the top salespeople in the world. So if this is going out to a list of people who are interested in sales, this is going to interest them. I'll leave it for you here. Highly recommend you check it out. Inside, we go over how to handle time, cost, and value objections like a 7-figure pro, a few game-changing lessons that 1000x Myron's sales and how you can use them yourself, the winning mindset that all successful salespeople have. It's not what you think. So now he's building intrigue with storytelling and more. But if you don't feel like sitting through the whole interview, I'll share one of the 3 most crucial elements of sales we discussed. So now he's giving value by basically talking about one of the 3 elements. He's building intrigue by not revealing everything immediately, and he's used storytelling. I was sat in an interview the other day, and this is what happened. So he's putting everything together, and he's using comparison copy, which comes later. So he tells the story, and then he starts going over the comparison copy. Myron and I were conversing, and eventually we ended up analysing what separates the best salespeople from the worst. Now he's comparing good to bad. At its core, it had nothing to do with the quality of their leads and the number of people they talked to or their company's foolproof script. Comparison. And now he just keeps going, keeps giving more value, and then PS, if you're looking to close 50 to 60% more deals in the next 3 weeks, check out my book here, and that's going to sell a book as well. And again, there's no urgency on it. It's just if you want to, you can look at this. And because the email's so good and so intriguing for the specific audience that it's being sent to, it's going to work. And it's going to get sales, a lot of them. So if you're interested in reading this, just keep pausing the video. You can jot it all down and figure it all out. But we're going to go over it more later on anyway, like the techniques that he used. But this, tier 0. So Kareem, well done, my friend. Really good email. And lesson 5, designing emails. Now, you've probably been wondering if you're new here. I get so many emails every day, and none of them look like that. None of them are just words, and that's very true. A lot of emails look like this. But this isn't difficult to do. It's actually really simple to do, and there's a really easy way to do it on Canva. So I'm going to use this one as an example. Looks cool, doesn't it? A nicely designed email, very nice. Let's show you how to do it in 30 seconds. You're going to go to Canva, and look at that. I've just replicated it really quick. That took me 10 seconds. Really simple. Go to Elements, find a box, just type in shapes and get a shape, stick it on there, stretch it out, make sure that the width is 200. There we go, we've got the width at 200 or 400, just double it. There we go. All right, width at 400, you've stretched it out. Now you're going to stretch it out. It's going to be your email. Change the color, let's make it white. Bash. Then you type in image, whatever image you want to use. Your client will probably send it to you. Stick it in there. Then you're going to ask your client for the logo. So then you're going to get the logo like that. Let's just push this to the back. Duplicate, layer, send to the back. So now everything's on top. So you've got the logo at the top. You've got the pretty image there. Headline, makeup that makes them look twice. Oh my God. And then you're going to add a little bit of text there and then a call to action for them to shop now and then maybe some testimonials and shit down below. It is that easy to design an email. It is not difficult to design an email. It's really simple. So use Canva. That's how you design emails. No need to go over it any more than that because it is literally that simple. So this brings us to advanced copywriting. This is something that no one on my channel has seen before. Existing subscribers, new watchers, old watchers, you have not seen any of this stuff before. If you're in my community, you might have heard me talk about it. If you're new to the channel or you've been on the channel and you're not in the community, you have not heard anything yet. This is where we separate the men from the boys. So copywriting on steroids. This lesson is where the real copywriters are separated from the FAP GPT digital dick suckers. You've got the basics. You know how to write a hook, frame the benefit, and chuck in a call to action. But now it's time to turn up the heat with advanced techniques that make your copy pop off the page, slap your reader in the face, and whisper, "Take out your wallet," in the reader's ear. We're talking power words, metaphors, storytelling verbs, and the mighty so what method that forces every line to earn its keep. By the end of this module, your copy will sound like it drinks black coffee and bench presses objections. So notice just how this one paragraph is better than all the other paragraphs you've read, because I've used pretty much everything that I've just said there. Power words, metaphors, storytelling verbs, and kind of so what. But just this one paragraph is so much more powerful than everything you've just read, or everything I've just read out to you so far, because I've used all these techniques. And when you use that in your copywriting, it also builds more emotion and makes the sale come easier. The lesson one, what to avoid when using AI. We're going to talk about AI in this module. This is what you need to avoid before we talk about what you use it for. So AI can technically write copy, but not well enough, not without some serious babysitting. Most people think that prompting ChatGPT with write a sales email for my coaching offer will give them usable copy, save them time, and improve their writing. It won't. It'll give you garbage. What you'll actually get is bloated, vague, and emotionally limp. If you want ChatGPT to push out anything even remotely decent, you'll have to prompt it with 3 to 5 ultra-specific prompts, which are going to take you at least 3, 4, 5 minutes each to write. So straight away, you're talking 15 minutes with your 3 to 5 ultra-specific prompts to tell it what it is that you need. And you need to already have that knowledge in your head to know what to prompt it. So if you don't know anything about content marketing, you're not going to know what to write in the prompt. So already you've spent 15, 20 minutes writing prompts to try and get it to work. Every time it gives back a response, you're going to have to sit there and read it and analyze what it gives back to make sure it's up to scratch, which can take 5 to 10 minutes, depending on how in-depth you want to analyze it, depending on how perfect you want your copy to be, which it should be. Then you're going to have to prompt it again when you find all the imperfections, which it will send out. Then you're going to have to read it again to refine the structure and find more imperfections and make it even better. Then you're going to have to prompt it again for word choice and da-da-da-da-da. And then finally, once it gives you something remotely decent, you're still going to have to go through and rewrite half of it yourself. So by the time you've done all that, you spent an hour. Trust me, I've really tried. I am not going to sit here and fight against the world who is screaming AI is taking over copywriting. I'm just not going to do it. I am being upfront and honest with all of you. They've seen a trend, they've jumped on it, and they're trying to sell you AI copywriting courses. That is it. That is all they're doing. It's not even close to taking over copywriting. I've tried, I've tested it, I've split tested, I've done everything for months. I really wish that AI was that good because it would save me a lot of time. And unfortunately, it's just not. By the time you've done all this, you could have just handwritten the email from scratch in your tone, your structure, with your intention, using correct copywriting techniques. AI doesn't understand messaging hierarchy, which is identify a problem, propose a solution, propose the solution properly. AI will start proposing the solution at the top. It'll start talking about more problems at the bottom. It doesn't understand messaging hierarchy. Doesn't understand tone of voice, emotional nuance, how will it make them feel if they don't solve it, how will they feel after they solve it, doesn't understand that. Or bias psychology, market sophistication. You do understand that stuff, and it is much faster to just write the copy yourself really quickly because you know what order it needs to go in, you know what message you need to send, you know what pain points you need to target, just really quickly, bang it out on a page, it'll take you 10, 15 minutes, and then stick it through AI and just say, hi, I've written this really fast. Can you just turn it into a coherent email without changing the messaging, without changing what I've written? And it will just turn it into a coherent email. That is how you use AI. You write the copy yourself really quick and then just ask it to make it readable. And that is how you use AI, and that is how you speed up time. Which brings me on to lesson 2, proofreading. This is where AI shines. Once you've quickly handwritten a solid email, caption, or sales message, you can use AI just to clean it up. Edit this for grammar, flow, and sentence clarity. But do not change the tone or message. Keep it persuasive. AI is your spell check, your flow doctor, and your pacing assistant. Don't let it drive, just let it tidy the car after you get out. All right? So, example. I tried this so many times with AI and it botched up. So many times. Let's try and find it. So this was the eventual prompt that worked, which made it give back something remotely decent. Proofread this email, fix any mistakes, and improve transactions between sentences. And that's it. Nothing else. So once I put that prompt in, it gave me back something decent because I posted the actual email in there as well. I tried 7 different prompts. And just to give you an example, I'm just going to show you one. I tried 7 different prompts and I tried to be as descriptive as possible, and it just kept fucking it up. Every time. It just kept fucking up the email. No matter what I tried, it spat something really ridiculous out. And eventually, the best prompt that finally worked and gave back something usable was the simplest one, which told it not to edit anything I'd written. It's crazy, that, isn't it? The prompt that tells it not to do anything spat out the best email. So this is the AI proofread version. How to quit smoking today. Are you sick of having bad breath and smelly fingers? Me too. Are you ready to ditch the ash in your eyes and that unquenchable thirst for cancer? So it's changed the wording slightly. I didn't like that. Those stinking cigarettes leaving burns on your sofa. Those stinking cigarettes leave burns on your sofa, dye your curtains yellow, and force you to stand shivering outside just to keep your home free from their toxic stench. I liked that. It's changed the wording slightly. So again, if you want to compare this, pause it, go back and look. Pause it, take a screenshot, go back to where I showed the original one. I'll just show you the original one now. So you can kind of see what it's changed. So like I say, if you want to check it out, just pause the video, read it, check it out, compare them. So that's what it changed. Now it still needs a little bit of human editing, of course, but not much. Just a little bit of human editing. Rather than spending 30 minutes putting in 10 to 15 ultra-specific prompts, just do it once and then go back and tweak it. And that's what I'm going to show you soon, because there's some more stuff that I need to show you before we get to that stage. Power words and phrases. This is where we get into really advanced copywriting now. Power words are emotional dynamite. They're the high voltage language that triggers action. They fall into categories like urgency, now, instantly, limited, deadline, hurry, final. Those are power words. Desire, crave, irresistible, juicy, forbidden, tempting. These are power words. They're not generic, boring, bland adjectives. They're power words. Fear, warning, don't, mistake, danger, hidden. Authority, proven, tested, expert, certified, guaranteed. Power words. Connection, secret, unlock, discover, reveal, truth. These are all power words, and you want to replace boring adjectives with power words. So by saying this is a good idea, a more powerful version of that sentence is this is an irresistible offer that you'll regret skipping. Power word, irresistible. Learn to write better emails. Unlock the email secrets that flood inboxes with buy now clicks. Make sure to sprinkle, don't oversaturate. 1 or 2 per sentence. You want flavor, not spam. The power words are very important for making single sentences have more punch, more impact, and more power. And they create that emotional connection much better within the reader once you hit that note correctly. So lesson 4, action verbs that tell a story. This is another way to it's more a build-up of power words. So forget saying we help, we offer, or we provide. You want to use words that create movement and paint scenes within your copy. So instead of saying our software helps manage tasks, which is boring, say our software slices through chaos and puts you back in control. So it creates that imagery in the head. And we're going to build up on imagery more in a minute as well. Instead of saying this course teaches you email marketing, say this course arms you with the tools to turn cold subscribers into hot buyers. It arms you with tools that you need. So it puts that imagery in their head. Think of verbs that show transformation, intensity, or impact. Verbs like slice, ignite, flood, crush, skyrocket, demolish, spark, unlock, dominate, eliminate. These are all power words, storytelling action verbs that create a story in what it is that you're writing about. So no bleak adjectives. This can is good. This can contains an explosion of flavors and a burst of energy. More powerful. Make your reader feel like they're doing something epic just by clicking the link. And that is going to improve your click-through rates astronomically. Lesson 5, creating imagery. This is again building off the previous 2 slides. Why describe something plainly when you can make it unforgettable? Metaphors are direct comparisons, like your brand is a broken megaphone. Similes use words like or as. It's like trying to sell steak to a vegan festival. So learning content marketing without this free course is like trying to sell steak at a vegan festival. It's difficult. So now I've replaced the adjective difficult with a simile to create imagery. Why they work? They paint pictures. Humans think in images. They make complex things simple. If you're explaining data, turn it into a metaphor and it helps explain it. And they stick. Nobody remembers we help you grow, but everyone remembers we're miracle grow for your sales funnel. Okay? So an example, instead of saying your website is slow, you want to say your website looks like a hungover sloth trying to find its phone. Fucking hell, slow. Example, instead of saying our process is smooth, say working with us feels like ordering a pizza and having it arrive before you're hungry. Convenient. Smooth. And finally, I think this is the final lesson in advanced copywriting, the so what method. This is one of the most powerful things you're going to use in all your copy. To be honest, everything. You want to be using every single technique in your copywriting. But this is another amazing one. This is a copywriter's golden rule. Every sentence must earn its place. When you write a feature, immediately ask yourself, so what? These posts are SEO optimized. So fucking what? So your brand shows up on Google when buyers are searching for the products that you sell. Ah, nice. You'll get weekly reporting. So what? So you'll always know exactly what's working and what's not. Oh, okay, insightful. And also, do the same with pain points. Most businesses struggle with content consistency. So what? So your audience forgets you exist and buys from someone who didn't go quiet for 3 weeks. Ah. Sounds like a problem. Every bullet, every benefit, and every promise should pass this test. And if it doesn't, cut it or punch it up. Make sure you're always using the so what method. And finally, this is the final one, boosting creativity with AI. Sometimes you're just stuck. Sometimes you get reader's block. This is completely normal. That's where AI can throw you a few lifelines. You want to use it to spice up your hooks, so ask for 10 different attention-grabbing headline alternatives. It won't always give something back. Sometimes you need to prompt it 5 or 6 times to find one that's really good. Only do this if you're struggling. Human creativity is always going to be better than robotic creativity, artificial creativity. Only do this if you're stuck. But again, it can be quite insightful. You can see 3 different headlines that you like, and then take pieces of each of them to make one really good one. That's how you use AI. Generate power verbs or words to replace dull ones. If you read your copy and you feel like a section's a little bit dull, find some adjectives or some verbs and just put it into AI and say, give me an alternative power word. And it'll give you an alternative to make it a little bit juicier. Find analogies, comparisons, or metaphors for tricky concepts. So again, if you're talking about something complicated and you want to help the reader visualize what it is that you're talking about, then just ask the reader to turn it into, ask AI to turn it into a metaphor. And again, you might need to do it a few times to find one that's really good, but it will come up with something eventually, and it can really help with creativity. And explore angles you hadn't considered. So an example prompt would be, give me 10 more powerful ways to say don't miss this opportunity. Or turn this sentence into something more emotional and punchy. This could help your business grow, and it will give you something back a little bit punchier. Now again, most of the time it's going to give you something back artificial that doesn't sound quite right. Use it for inspiration to make it sound right, to make it sound good. And that is where AI will become your best friend. Right, so that concludes advanced copywriting. So now you literally have everything you need to be a great copywriter. You know the templates for writing strong direct response, you know the messaging hierarchies and what order you need to deliver the right message in. You know the 4 big emotions to sell. New, easy, safe, and big. I didn't actually give you an example of that. I forgot, but it's fine. It's just new, easy, safe, and big. If you're writing for a product, the newest can of Red Bull has come out and we've removed taurine and replaced it with something even better. So that's new and big. Don't worry, it's scientifically proven to be safer than taurine and less harmful. Right, safe and big. So new, easy, safe, big, easy. Oh, and don't worry about it. All you need to do is click this and just drink it and it'll give you more energy. Easy. So new, easy, safe, big. Really easy to do. So you know all that. You know about branded copywriting now. That should take up 90% of the emails you write. We'll get to more what order you should write the emails in later on, because this starts talking about content marketing. We're still talking about, well, we've been talking about copywriting the whole time. Now we're going to start about advanced content marketing. Now, to show you the difference between just writing copy and then turning that into a content marketing strategy. This is the difference. So you know how to write good copy, power words, metaphors, adjectives, call to actions, you know it all. You've got everything you need to write really, really good copy. So now we're going to get into advanced content marketing. The first thing you need to know is market sophistication, the 5 different stages of awareness. Understanding the basics is enough to get you your first client. So if you're a good copywriter, you could probably get a good client. But retaining that client after you close them is a whole different kettle of fish. This is why copywriting is not good enough. You need to be a content marketer. This course will teach you how to perform as a content marketer, bringing good results and retaining your clients so that you can continue to upscale. This is the difference between people who make $5,000 a month and people who close a client by luck and then lose that client and never really hit the $5,000 a month because they're not doing this stuff. Focusing too much on copywriting and writing emails for a fitness niche doesn't work. You need these extra skills. So, 5 stages of awareness. It's 5 stages. Unaware prospects, problem-aware prospects, solution-aware, product-aware, and most aware. Unaware prospects have no idea who you are, what you do, or what your product is. They don't know they've got a problem. They don't know they need a solution. They are completely in la-la land. Problem-aware people know they've got a problem, but don't know that a solution exists, or don't know that that problem needs an immediate fix, but they do know they've got a problem. Solution-aware prospects are aware of a solution and they know that they have a problem. They know that solutions exist, but they don't really give a shit about buying those solutions. Product-aware prospects are aware that solutions exist. They know your product exists and they are considering purchasing your product. So they are considering solving that problem. And most aware prospects are usually repeat buyers or people who are literally one click away from buying. And then the 5 stages of engagement work hand in hand with the 5 stages of awareness. So they directly correlate. And the difference between these 2 funnels, though, is understanding what stage of the buyer's journey your prospect is in, as opposed to just understanding their level of awareness. So the awareness stage is where they're unaware, or they're just aware, or they're not actually in the process of buying yet. So they could be product aware, but they're not actually on the buyer's journey yet. So they're not inside an infrastructure, they're not inside an email flow, or they haven't visited a landing page, they're just aware. The interest stage is where these guys are considered problem aware and they have engaged with the brand recently, which means they're product aware, they're problem aware because you've talked about problems. That's what you're going to be doing in your copywriting. Consideration stage, these prospects are solution aware and have engaged with the brand regularly, so they know that solutions exist to this problem. Conversion stage, these guys are product aware and they have engaged with the product specific content, so they understand that your product exists. And the loyalty stage, these prospects are repeat buyers that have purchased a product and continue to engage. So how do you identify these different stages of awareness? I'm going to give you an example using an ESP. So I'm not going to show you an ESP on this video. If you want more information on that, I've got a full video on my channel teaching you how to use email service providers and how you can make an extra $3,000 a month writing practice emails whilst you practice the skills that I'm teaching you in this course. You don't need any clients, you can just make $3,000 a month. So check my YouTube channel, I might leave it in the description of this video. You can watch that after this one and get paid while you practice, and I'll teach you how to use ESPs. But basically, to identify the different stages of engagement, you send an email which makes them aware of a problem. Now everyone that opens that email is now problem aware. So they're interested because they've opened the email. You know they're interested, they've opened the email, they're problem aware. Then you send another email telling them how to solve that problem. When they open that email, they're solution aware because you've told them how to solve that problem. Or if you've told them what the problem is in the problem email, you've made them aware of a problem when they've opened the email, and if they click the link to find out the solution, they're solution aware. So these are the ways that you can figure out what stage of awareness they're in, by user behavior, and you can track that data on an email service provider. It sounds complicated, it's not, just watch my other video, it's really easy to do. So when you track this data, you know exactly what to send to which stage. So now, I'm going to tell you what to send. If they're unaware, make them aware of a problem. So you're going to talk about the problems associated with it, associated with whatever it is that you sell. You're going to talk about the problems. That's what you send to them. If they're problem aware, you're going to talk about how solutions exist. That's what you send to them, using all the frameworks that I've just taught you. If they're solution aware, you're going to talk about your product specifically and its USPs, or unique selling propositions. So what makes you stand out? This is where you use comparison copy, things like that. They're product aware, this is where you use direct response. So they already know about your product, now you need to get the sale. If they're most aware, then it's like upsells and extra value and stuff like that to keep them loyal. Exactly the same for all these stages. Exactly the same. Awareness copy, make them aware of a problem. Interest, make them aware that a solution exists. Consideration, make them aware of your solution. Conversion, sell them. Loyalty, look after them. Simple as that, not difficult. The next one is the 4 email sequence, sorry. Email sequences are an excellent way of funneling your audience through the different stages of engagement, automatically on autopilot. The best and most widely recognized sequence of emails is called a welcome series. And this is pretty much the only one you need unless you're working with a really big brand. So then you need like re-engagement sequences and post-purchase sequences and drip campaigns, abandoned cart, requested quotes. You don't need to worry about any of that just yet. The only thing you need to worry about is the welcome sequence, because this is going to automate 90% of what you do in your emails. The welcome email, this is used to welcome your audience to the brand. Talk about the brand, its values, and what you can expect to receive from this newsletter. Then you're going to send a brand email. The next email in this sequence should be free value. This gives the reader information about your product, how to use it, and the benefits of using it. So build that awareness. Number 2, this email will highlight the brand attributes. You've made them aware of your brand and created interest with free value, so now you need to introduce solutions. And then a direct response email. You've made them aware of everything, so now you need to sell them. You've funneled them through automatically. And all you need to do with a welcome sequence is build the automation in an ESP, write the emails once, and they will send forever to everyone who signs up. When they sign up to a newsletter, it will trigger, they will get it automatically. So that's how you build a welcome sequence inside an email. And I want you to take note of everything that I'm talking about now. This is the buyer's journey, because this is what we're covering now. This is how I'm going to show you how to use everything I've taught you to put it into the real world and create a full funnel marketing infrastructure, like I told you. So you've got the buyer's journey. Now, everything you're going to learn ties into this buyer's journey now. Email sequences, buyer's journey. Funnel them through the different stages of engagement, from awareness to interest, interest to action, step by step. Lesson 4, ad funnels. Not all copy hits the same. You need to match your message to the funnel stage. Now, when you're writing ad scripts, you all know what ads are, okay? You see them, I just showed you an example. If you've seen that guy before, the Australian dude, I forgot his name, Sell Like Crazy. If you've seen him before, you'll have seen that amazing ad that he does. Making sales is hard, really fucking hard. It's like walking on a pile of Legos and sticking a chili up your arse, or kicking a midget in the balls. That's an ad script, okay? So when you're writing ad scripts, because that's also something you're going to be doing in content marketing, when you're writing ad scripts, there's 3 different funnels that you can write for, 3 different stages. Top of funnel, never heard of you. So you need to be bold, interesting, and curiosity driven. Your goal is to stop the scroll and spark awareness about whatever it is that you're selling. So make them aware of a problem, make them aware that your solution exists. That's what your goal is for the script that you are writing for this ad. Why your emails suck and how to fix them. Problem aware, solution aware. Right? If they get interested enough, they'll click, it'll take them to a sales page, and then that's when you hit them hard with direct response. Middle of funnel is for people who've seen this ad but not clicked and not converted. So now they know who you are, so you need to build trust and create value. So the way you build trust is by educating, relating, and impress them. How Sarah landed 3 clients with this one-liner. You've seen it, I've made you aware of a problem, I've made you aware of a solution, this is why we can actually help. We helped X, Y, and Z, bang. And then bottom of funnel, these guys are hot. They're close to buying. Push gently, but clearly. Your goal is to remove doubt and convert. Only 2 spots left. Urgency. So that is how you would write the ad script for bottom of funnel. So that's a full funnel ad script. And do 2 or 3 different approaches that you can take for each one. So top of funnel, are you sick of the 9-to-5 grind? That's 1. Top of funnel, did you know you can make 20 grand online in the next 4 months? That's 2. So that's 2 different approaches. So you could start it off like that and then build off of that. Make them aware of a problem, propose a solution. Middle of funnel, right, you've seen my previous ad. You know that you can make 20 grand online, but you haven't given it a go. Well, let me show you how my students are doing. Let's build some trust. Bang. Bottom of funnel, you know who I am, you know what we do, you know that you can make 20 grand a month, but yet you're not taking action. You're probably scared. Well, we've got this exclusive discount just for you, Bang. So that's a full funnel ad strategy. So if you want to build an ad strategy that converts, that's how you do it. You run 2 ads for top of funnel, 2 ads for the middle of funnel, and 2 ads for bottom of funnel. And when you've got those ads running, they'll just generate revenue passively. Because if they don't convert on this one, they'll see this one. If they don't convert on this one, then they'll see this one. If they don't, so they just run and they'll see all the ads, these people, and they will convert. Lesson 5, lead magnets. This is another way for funneling awareness. Another content marketing strategy. A lead magnet is a juicy little freebie that gives a value in exchange for a click or an email address. Think about ebooks, templates, or checklists, or mini video series, whatever solves a problem fast, or whatever the reader wants to gain for free. It's instantly useful, it's relevant to your offer, and it positions you as an expert. Remember this, a good lead magnet creates a gap between what they know and what they need next, i.e. your paid offer. So it creates that gap between the paid offer and the free stuff. So you give them something for free, which makes them want more, and then that stuff is locked behind a paywall. That's how a lead magnet works, and that is used to usually collect data like an email address. So sign up to my newsletter to join my free community. It's a lead magnet. I'm being flat with you. I want you in my community. So sign up to the newsletter, and then you'll get that access to my community. Rather than just putting the community in the description, nah, that's too easy. Sign up to my newsletter and then I'll invite you to the community. And you're gonna learn even more stuff during your time in the community. I'm gonna help everyone. Lesson 6, landing pages. So again, this is it's kind of copywriting, but it's content marketing. You're gonna see why. So a landing page is not about selling your main offer. It's about getting the lead magnet opt-in. So you want to keep a landing page tight and persuasive. You want the headline at the top, and a landing page is just a quick website page. So if you go to the if you go to anyone's bio right now, they'll have a landing page up there. So a landing page, well, I'll tell you what, sign up to my newsletter in the description. That's a landing page. It's a very, very whipped together landing page because Beehive, the ESP that I use, doesn't have many design tools for making it look good. So it's a little bit ugly, but if you sign up to my newsletter in the link of the video, that's a landing page. So you'll see the landing page. So you literally want to go with headline, outcome driven, steal the email template that got me 10 clients, benefits, what they'll learn, solve, or get, then the call to action. Get the guide for free. Never submit. You. Remove the fluff. The job of this page is only one thing, get the email. So it's a really quick landing page. Get their email and offer them something in exchange for putting that email into the page. Sales pages, this is where you buy. Now we're talking money. A sales page is a long form copy that convinces someone to buy. So it's got a strong headline at the top, which grabs attention with the biggest outcome. Problem, so now you start talking about direct response, agitate the pain. Solution, enter your offer, talk about the solution. Once you've done all of that, so it's the full thing that I showed you at the start of this, course, identify a problem, agitate the pain, propose the solution, and fortify your proposition. That's these two sections here. Before you get the call to action though, then you add testimonials, stats, results, offer breakdown, this is what they get, guarantee, risk reversal, so it's safe, new, easy, big, safe, and then call to action, make it easy to buy. Use the so what method on almost every line. If the sentence doesn't push the sale forward, it doesn't belong. If you want to see a really good sales page, go and check out Iman Gadzhi's sales page. It's called the Digital Launchpad. Do not buy his course, it is a scam. I bought it. Like I said at the beginning of this course, I told you that I bought a bunch of different courses to see what was in them. I've put everything in this course for free. So don't go and buy his course. It's a sales page and it's a good one. So it's going to make you want to buy. Don't do it. I've already bought it and put everything in this. You don't need it. It's just full of fluff. Everything you need is in this. Their course is full of fluff. You don't need it. But go and look at the sales page to get an idea of what a sales page looks like. Lesson 8. Oh my God, we're almost there. I did say I was going to be here for 5 hours, but it's looking like I'm speeding through this. Lesson 8, full funnel content marketing strategy. So now you have literally learned everything. If you've been taking notes and pausing the video between slides to digest everything that I'm saying in rapid fire, by now you have learned everything that you need to be a full funnel content marketing expert. You don't know how to get clients yet. That's going to be the second half of the video, which is now. But you know everything you need to know about content marketing. You're an expert copywriter, you know how to get an action taken, you know how to sell, you know how to write really powerful emotional copy, you know all the different stages of the buyer's journey, you know how to funnel people through a funnel. Now I'm going to help you visualize what that funnel looks like so you understand what content marketing is. Because once you put everything together, it's going to help you really understand what it is that we've just done. I'm fucking wired. I need cocaine. I'm joking, don't do drugs. So lesson 8, full funnel content marketing strategy. Let's walk you through what a full funnel content marketing strategy would actually look like. And this is what you're going to be offering clients. Full funnel content marketing strategies. They will pay you thousands for doing this for them. This is what I do. This is what I do that makes me 20 grand a month. Full funnel content marketing strategies. So let's say you build them an ad funnel, like I told you. So you've got 2 bottom of funnel, you've got 2 top of funnel ads, 2 middle of funnel ads, and 2 bottom of funnel ads. You've written the scripts for them, the client has videoed them, they're ready to go, they've been edited, now they're out. Now these ads are running, okay? All of a sudden, a cold prospect sees one of those punchy ads. How I made 20 grand a month of content marketing. And remember, they're only gonna see one. There's still 7 more which they could potentially see, which would make them take a different action. So if it's middle of funnel, then maybe you're trying to get the sale immediately, which you are. Middle of funnel, you're taking them straight to a sales page, take them to a sales page, get the sale immediately. Same with bottom of funnel, take them to the sales page, get the sale immediately. If they don't see those ads and they only see the first one, which is awareness, they see a punchy ad. How I make 20 grand a month of content marketing. They're intrigued, so they click on the ad. All right, this is how the content marketing strategy works. When they click on that ad, it's going to take them to the landing page that you also did for the client. So now they're on the landing page. There's a big headline telling them what they're going to get in exchange for putting their email in. They land on the page, offers them a lead magnet, client acquisition checklist, so they opt in. So now they've got a client acquisition checklist, right? Now they've opted into your email list. So they've gone from never hearing of you, never knowing they've got a problem, to now being interested by an ad, opting into a lead magnet, and now they're on your email list. So now they're going to funnel through a welcome sequence on your email list. So it builds rapport, gives them value, email 2, email 3, shares a case study, email 4, teases the offer, email 5, links to the sales page. They open email 5, they click, they read the sales page, now they're on the sales page that you've also written for them, and then they buy. And that is how a full funnel content marketing strategy works. That's not copywriting. Copywriting is just writing the text. Understanding how the funnel, the infrastructure works, that is content marketing. And that is what you now know how to do, because I have just visualized it for you. I've taught you everything step by step and visualized it. If you're still confused, you've digested this information, take a break, come back, watch it all again, come back another day. I'm gonna teach you how to get clients now though for the next hour, so don't go anywhere, because there's no point knowing all of this if you don't know how to get paid for all this information. Like I said, if you're still confused, you don't need to ask questions that I've already answered. Just go back, watch the video again, and it'll teach you, it'll tell you. You've heard it once, so when you hear it twice, you'll understand it more because you've already heard it before. That's how it works. So go back and watch the video again if you don't understand it. So that's full funnel content marketing. That is the thing that you are going to get paid thousands for. You took them from who even are you to shut the fuck up and take my money, using nothing but content. The magic is in the sequence. Each piece of content moves them one emotional step closer to saying yes. And that is a full funnel content marketing strategy. That is what businesses are going to pay you 5 grand a month for. And it doesn't take long to do at all. All right? Cool. Oh, we're not, I forgot about SEO. Oh, fuck my life. I thought we were nearly done. Oh no. Right, it's fine. It's completely fine. We're on to SEO now. Why not? I enjoy SEO, it's fine. Oh, I feel like crying. I thought we was almost done. I thought we were like at the end. At the end where, you know, we're just gonna tell you how to get clients and then be on my merry way, but I'm gonna be stuck in my goddamn office for another 3 hours now probably. SEO content writing. So I've taught you about a full funnel content marketing conversion strategy. This is where we start talking about organic leads now. So not running paid ads, not sending emails to leads that already exist. This is how we're going to find people automatically without spending money. So you're not paying for ads to show up and then get clicked. This is how you're going to find people who are interested in your offer and searching it into Google. Okay? So lesson 1, what is SEO? SEO stands for search engine optimization. SEO copywriting is the act of writing copy that not only appeals to human readers, but search engine bots as well. So you might be thinking, what in the evergreen fuck is a search engine bot? This is how search engines work. Understanding how search engines work, how search engines decide to rank your content is important because it's going to help you write your content in a way that appeals to the process Google takes to rank your copy. You don't know what rank means, you're going to learn in a minute. So stage 1, the first stage of the ranking process is called crawling. This is where Google sends out search engine bots or spiders to scour the internet for new content once it's published. So when you write copy for a client and send it over to them, as soon as they implement that copy and put it on their website, a crawler will be immediately sent out to their website by Google. There's trillions of them being pinged all over the internet every single second. So once you send that copy over, as soon as it gets put on the website by your client, you won't do it. You don't need to do it. Your client will always do it. As soon as you do that, the crawler will get pinged out and it's going to find that new content. So then the indexing stage happens. Once the spiders find your content, the indexing process will begin. Crawlers will index your content based off of the contents within that offer. If your page hits all the right notes, then your content will be indexed for ranking later. So if you've optimized it correctly, the way I'm going to show you now, it will be indexed so that it can rank when someone searches. And stage 3 is ranking. This is the point where a search engine bot decides how relevant your content is to a specific search query. Based on the information gathered and indexed by the crawlers, your page will appear in the search engine results page based on a combination of the entered search query and the contents of your page. Basically, let me say that in English. If I type in on Google, where to buy Red Bull, it's going to immediately take me to a page that sells Red Bull. So it's not going to be an article on the benefits or the negatives of drinking Red Bull. It's just going to take me to a page that sells Red Bull because that is my intention with my search. I want to buy Red Bull. So it's going to show me the most relevant page to what it is that I've searched for. So if they've optimized their page to be very good at selling Red Bull or very good at giving people Red Bull or giving people a place to buy Red Bull, Google knows that, and therefore it will show up as the #1 rank place to buy Red Bull. So lesson 2, keyword research. There's 2 methods of keyword research, and both work just as well as each other. So keyword research tools, you can use things like SEMrush and Ahrefs to give you, these are excellent tools that help you choose the best keywords that give you the highest chance of ranking. Or Google searches, which if you don't want to spend 200 quid a month on SEMrush, use Google searches. Search a short tail keyword on Google and navigate to people also ask. Here, you'll find long tail keywords that are more specific to whatever query the prospect may have. Let me just show you what this looks like because it's difficult to explain. So let's go to Google. And I'm going to type in how to start content marketing. If I type this in, you've got an AI overview. 15 steps to get started with content marketing. Content marketing, definition, types, and how to do it. What is content marketing? This is where you're going to find keywords that you can rank for. How do I get into content marketing? So that's a keyword. That's a different variation of how you could write that. What is the 3-3-3 rule in marketing? The power of 3. What are the 7 steps of content marketing? Keyword. So these are all keywords. How to start a content marketing business. Keywords. So these are all ways that you can find keywords to write content for that rank on Google. All right? So once you've found a keyword, that's when you can start writing. I'm going to try and stay with the flow of the thing though before. Yeah, competitor research. So after keyword research comes competitor research. By the way, keywords are how Google determines what your content is about. I'm getting ahead of myself. Keywords is how Google determines what the content is actually about. So a keyword could be buy Red Bull. So it doesn't need to be one word. A keyword can be multiple words or a phrase or a sentence or a question. That's called a keyword, even if it's multiple words. A keyword could be buy Red Bull now. That's a keyword. And Google can read that. So it knows that your page is talking about buying Red Bull. So it'll index it. And now when anyone types in buy Red Bull, where to buy Red Bull, Google then knows that your page is about buying Red Bull, so it will show it to them. Here's a few more different keywords that you can do, but we'll get into that in a minute. So lesson 3 is competitor research. After keyword research, once you've found a keyword you want to write for, i.e. how to start a content marketing business, Then comes competitor research. This is important for helping you understand what works well for your competitors, as well as any information they failed to include. This is important. Google prioritizes content that is high quality. So the higher quality your content, the better it answers the search query, the higher it's going to rank on Google. So if you click on the highest ranking article and it misses some information about how to start a content marketing business, you can just copy everything that they've done. Make sure you do it unique and in your own way, you know, because low quality content is also copying what other people have done. Google knows. It's really intelligent is Google. You have to be careful. You can't use any AI for Google either, because it knows what AI is. So you're basically finding a gap in their content so you can fill that gap. And as long as you fill that gap while also hitting all the same notes that they've hit, or removing fluff that doesn't need to be there, making it as refined as possible, then your article will rank higher. Now obviously all these different things are going to tie in together, so they all work together in harmony, but that is how competitor research works. So search intent. There's only two types of search intent that you need to concern yourself with. The first is informational intent. So if a search query reads how to start copywriting, then the user is looking for information on how to be a copywriter. They're looking for information. So that's got informational intent. The second is transactional intent. So if a search query reads where to hire a copywriter, then the prospect is most likely looking to spend money on copywriting services. So it will take them to a service page to hire a copywriter, or a hire page. Or Red Bull, where to buy Red Bull. That's transactional intent. So they're the only two things that you need to worry about. And then competitor content. Once you've chosen a keyword, research how many pages are ranking for that specific keyword. You can check out their articles and identify the content of the article. Is it information or is it transactional? Next, you want to identify the gaps that have been left by high ranking pages. If a page ranking for the keyword how to start copywriting contains information on how to write copy but nothing suggesting outreach, then you can write an article hitting all the same points as well as adding the additional information that was left out. And therefore, it is more comprehensive and Google will think that it's higher quality. All right? So let me show you how you can find pages that are ranking for keywords. You're going to download something called SEO Quake. It's completely free. Add it as an extension. SEO Quake. But just type it in here. SEO Quake extension. So this one. You're just going to click on this, download it. It's completely free. It is an absolute godsend for me. And this is going to help you determine what a page is ranking for. So if I type in how to start a copywriting business, for example. So this is number one, the ultimate guide to starting a copywriting business. So this is rank 1. This is serious. Ultimate guide to starting a copywriting business with no experience. Wow. We're going to click SEO Quake up here. And we're going to get a diagnosis of the page. Now I'm going to tell you more about title tags in a minute. Don't worry about that. But first things first, there's 7 images without alternate text. So alternate text is basically when you go on WordPress, developers will know what alternate text is. You just need to describe what the image is because Google can't read images. So you have to add alternate text to the back end of the image. It doesn't appear on the page, it's just telling Google what the image is. So if you include an image of someone writing, you will just say image of someone writing, and it just tells Google what the image is. So there, if you wrote an article hitting all the same points, but just put alternate text on all your images, Google would rank it higher than this page because it's higher quality, more stuff in there. All right? So that straight away is something that you can beat within your competitors. The next thing is we need to find out what keywords they're ranking for. So H1 is the ultimate guide to starting a copywriting business with no experience. So that is what they're writing for. H2, how I got started as a copywriter, no copywriting experience, no worries. The importance of mindset in starting a copywriting business, make it official, the legal and business essentials for setting up a freelance copywriting business. So there's nothing here about actually learning how to write copy. So you could fill that gap. Those are the key words that we're talking about. So it's really easy. Have a play around with SEO Quake. It's going to teach you basically how to figure out what it is that your competitors are doing. both gaps in information and keywords that they're ranking for. So you can try and rank for different keywords that say the same thing, if you know what I mean. So you're not matching the exact same keywords. Lesson 4, choosing the right keywords. So you need to choose a keyword that has low competition and high search volumes. Keyword research tools will give you this information, but if you don't have access to these tools, you can do some simple competitor research to identify what keyword will work best. So the primary keyword is the thing that you're trying to rank for. It's the thing that someone's going to type into the search query. So how to start a copywriting business. More specifically, it is the exact query that's typed into the search engine by a prospect. The keyword should be present in your page, title, meta description, and page URL if possible. Again, don't worry about that. Just tell your client that they have to do that. Secondary keywords. These are long tail keywords that complement your primary keyword. If your primary keyword is how to start copywriting, then secondary keywords would be things like getting started with copywriting, copywriting basics, making money with copywriting. So those are secondary keywords. It's on the same topic, but it's a different keyword, but it's related to the primary keyword. These should be integrated naturally throughout the body content of your website page or article, as well as included in your headings, right? I'm going to give you more examples later on. Don't worry, I've got examples. I've got articles that are ranking on page 1 that I've written for clients that I'm going to show you. One of which is making more than I think $6,000 a month for one of my clients is making from one article that I wrote, which is ranked, not even ranked page 1, it's ranked number 1 on Google. Really well optimized. So it's ranked number 1 on Google and he's making $6,000 a month from it, from inquiries, from people searching the search query. I have beaten everyone. There's not an article on planet Earth on the topic that I wrote that's better than mine. How can you get more credibility than that? There is not a single article on planet Earth that is better than the one I wrote on that specific topic. No one on planet Earth is better than me at writing about that. That is the ultimate credibility. So fucking wait until you see it. I know my shit. On-page SEO. On-page SEO is incredibly important when writing copy. This is the structured data of the page content, allowing for easy human navigation, which reduces bounce rates, and helping crawlers understand the structure of the contents of your page. So the first thing is your title tag and your meta description. The title tag is a HTML element. Don't worry too much about that. Again, your client will have devs that do all that. It's a HTML element that specifies the title of a web page. It appears as the blue clickable headline in search engine results and is one of the most important on-page SEO factors. Title tags include the primary keyword. Are you ready for this? How to start a copywriting business. That's your title tag and it contains the primary keyword. Beginner's Guide to Freelance Copywriting. Ranked number 1. That was written 5 years ago, so that's a really good article. So that is the title tag, okay, and it contains the primary keyword. The meta description is the brief summary that appears under the title in the search results. It doesn't really affect rankings, but it has a strong impact on click-through rates. This is where you use your conversion copywriting intrigue techniques to get people to click. That's your title tag. This is what's going to get people to click. Growing your copywriting business, secure some retainer clients, broadening your service spectrum, smart outsourcing to maximize, ... Running a successful copywriting business requires long hours of deep work, as well as some marketing and business skills. That's not very appealing, but for some reason Google loves it. So that's your meta description. Again, don't worry about implementing that to the website. They will do it themselves or they will have designers that do it. You just write the copy. Oh, one thing I never showed you. I'm so sorry. We're going to halt real quick. Let's pause and rewind. I never showed you the final proofread version of the copy using power words and phrases. So do you know when I told you to ask AI to come up with creative shit for power words, phrases, imagery, bullet reinforcements, storytelling action verbs? Use AI to ask you to improve shit and then hand edit the final piece. Let me actually read the final draft of the e-cigarette email. So obviously that's the first draft. This is the final draft. So how to quit smoking today. Are you sick of having bad breath and smelly fingers? Yeah, me too. Ash in your eyes, chesty cough, and an unquenchable thirst for cancer. If they're not leaving burns on your sofa, or dyeing your sofa, or dyeing your curtains yellow, they've got you standing outside in the freezing cold to keep your home free from their toxic stench. Reads a lot better. I changed that by hand, by the way. So be honest, what do you actually get out of being a smoker? That's right, you're addicted, just like I was. But the fact you're reading this email means something shifted. You're ready for change, because let's be honest, you waste $20 a day destroying your lungs from the inside out, and you walk around reeking like an ashtray, getting nothing in return besides taming an addiction you desperately want to get rid of. So why not do something about it? Well, 90% of smokers have already tried, and 90% of those attempts failed, so it's safe to assume that you are one of those people who desperately want to shake, desperately, another power word, your addiction, but you just don't know what else to do. You've tried nicotine patches. This is reinforcing with the so what method. Nicotine patches, burns your skin, doesn't work. Nicotine chewing gum, tastes disgusting, doesn't have the same appeal. Replacing the habit with something else, 25 packets of crisps, now you're fat. Did any of it work? Probably not, since you're still here. So ask yourself, why didn't it work? Whatever the reason, I know the real one. The true reason you cannot stop smoking. The thing that none of the above solutions can quite get right. It's not the smoke or the taste or even the nicotine, trust me. The real reason you can't stop smoking is because you're addicted to the hit, that hot, soothing kick in the back of your throat, complemented by the sensation of nicotine calming your mind. That's what keeps dragging you back, get it? Dragging you back. So what can you do? There must be an alternative that gives you the same satisfying kick without the stink, the cost, or the cancer. Well, it turns out there is. Introducing the Crystal Bar. We've been where you are and we've built the solution. Over 24 sweet and fruity flavours. No more fag ash breath, no more insecurity. Up to 4,000 puffs of organically produced liquid. One canister lasts an average of 2 weeks for the same price as one pack of cigarettes. You're saving up to $5,000 per year. Scientifically proven to be 95% less harmful than smoking. Live longer, feel healthier. Reinforcing it. Forget the days where people backed away from your toxic breath. You'll fill the room with enticing flavours, leaving people leaning in instead of walking off. You can relax in the warmth of your home, puffing on clean, eco-friendly vapour. No ash, no burns, no bitter stares from family and friends. And best of all, we've got a special offer just for you. For this week only, blah, blah, blah. Click here to get yours now and finally be free of the dreaded cigarette. Contact us and let us know your favourite flavour. So that is a good email. No? That's completely rewritten, it's a good email. So if you want to study that, I know I've gone off topic a little bit, but if you want to study that, that is a tier 0 email that does the job right. Now, back to SEO. I apologise. Back to SEO. So on-page elements. So now you know the title tag, you know what the meta description is. Now let's talk about the structured data. Your H1, your H2, your H3, your title tags. Headers organise your content and help search engines understand the structure of your page. H1 tag is the main heading of the page and should include the primary keyword. There should be only one H1 tag per page. So the H1 is the big title at the top of the article. Your H2s are the subtitles that go down. I'm going to show you examples. Use these for subheadings to break down sections of content. This should include secondary keywords and related terms when appropriate. An example, title tag, best email marketing tools for 2025, recommendations. So that is the blue clickable thing that they click on. So they'll click, and before they click, they'll read this. We reviewed several software companies using a detailed process to help you find the 7 best email marketing tools for small businesses. See that, they see the title, they click it, it takes them to the page. And at the top of the page, the H1 title will be there, the big headline. Best email marketing tools for 2025, so that's your keyword. Then there'll be an introduction. Welcome to this article that talks about the best email marketing tools for 2025. In this article, we will cover Let's begin. H2, why email marketing tools matter. Title, why email marketing tools matter. Email marketing tools are important because they do this, this, and this, and they help you build useful automations and blah, 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 blah. So here are our top 7 choices. Oh yeah, and then it moves on. H2, top 7 email marketing platforms. Here are our top choices for the top 7 email marketing platforms that have the best automations, the best Then you will move on to a H3, which is a smaller heading, a smaller title tag, because it's building off of the H2, so top 7 email marketing platforms. Number 1, Beehive. So that's a H3. Normal text, Beehive does X, Y, and Z. Number 2, H3, MailChimp. Once you finish talking about the 7 best email marketing platforms and you start discussing a different topic, you go back up to H2 again. So H2, conclusion. That concludes our article on the 7. If you want to, then you can check out our. And then that's it. That's how you write an article. I did a fantastic job of explaining that. But I'm going to show you in these examples of my page 1 articles, so relax. For now, let's continue. Lesson 6, make sure you're taking notes, because when you're taking notes, once we get to the examples, you'll be able to do it better. You're taking notes, you're writing everything down, you'll be able to refer to your notes, put it into practice all this stuff, and then once you practice it, it'll help you understand it, once you're actually practicing the things that we're talking about. Lesson 6 is keyword placement. As mentioned in the previous slide, your primary keyword should be placed within the title tag, meta description, and URL if possible, and H1 tag. Secondary keywords should be in your subheadings, like H2, H3, etc. For the body content, which is just the normal text, it's also important to include your keywords seamlessly into your body content, but you can include both the primary keyword and the secondary keywords regularly throughout your content, as long as you avoid keyword stuffing. This is something called keyword density. So an example of this is SEO tools are the best SEO tools for SEO because SEO helps you with SEO. Shit, that's what articles used to be like 20 years ago when Google first came out. Keyword stuffing. Shit. Good example, SEO tools are essential for improving your search engine rankings and driving organic traffic. SEO tools, primary keyword. Improving your search rankings, secondary keyword. Driving organic traffic, secondary keyword. And it's readable, it makes sense. Yeah? I'll show you examples. I've got a color-coded article that I wrote. Lesson 7, calls to action. So unlike conversion copywriting, you're not necessarily trying to get an immediate action. There isn't like a link at the bottom of the email, or there isn't buttons throughout telling you to act now. It's a little bit different with SEO. The main point of link building or calls to action in SEO is to bounce both Google and readers between different pages on your website. And the more pages you can bounce Google to, the more domain authority you're going to build. And when you're building domain authority, you've got a higher chance of ranking for difficult keywords. So domain authority is basically Google understanding what your website is about rather than an individual page. So when it takes you to a page that talks about coaching, for example, and then you ping Google over to your coaching program, you're telling Google that you've got information on coaching, you've got offers about coaching. So then when people look for coaching, it knows that your website is very well versed in coaching. So it's going to help you appear easier for more difficult search queries, more competitive search queries. So every piece of copy has a CTA included somewhere along the line. So where do you include your CTAs, and what should your CTA be in an SEO article? The short answer is anything you can link that adds value to the content and anywhere possible without link stuffing. So don't want to link stuff. It's very important that you don't do that. But you want to add value to the article as well. You don't just want to ping them to random different pages. The pages need to be related to the article that you're writing or the page that you're writing, because it adds value. So you're pinging them to related articles, related pages, etc., because it's going to help Google and it's going to get more people pinging through your SEO content marketing sales funnel. Because you can ping people through a sales funnel just from SEO. Conversion sales funnel as well. So what and where? What should a CTA be in an article? That all depends on the search intent. If the intent is informational, then a good CTA might be something like you can learn more about X here, or if you want to find out more here, or if you want to contact us here. That would be a good call to action. Or you can add a link to the product if the initial informational intent was best email marketing tools. Beehive takes our #1 spot for the best email marketing tool. You can have that right at the top, so it doesn't need to be at the bottom. I have it right at the top. So H2, top 7 best email marketing tools. H3, Beehive. Drop down. Beehive is one of the best email marketing tools. And the word Beehive, hyperlink. Yeah? Because then it takes you to Beehive, so that's related content. It's not necessarily on your website, but that's something called a backlink. And that also improves trust, because when you've got backlinks are links that are on other websites, but if your website is pinging between credible sources, it also builds domain authority, because it shows that you are a trusted website. So you also want to be pinging to external sources as well, because it builds trust and credibility. So where should you include it? I personally dump a bunch of call to actions throughout my articles, especially in things like top 10 articles. There will be a link to every single thing that I talk about in that article. I put them everywhere, all the time, but try not to link stuff. It has to be links to related content that improves on the value of whatever it is that you're writing for. If it's not related, or if it doesn't add to the value of the page, it's link stuffing, and it'll hurt your rankings on Google. Call to actions should be included throughout your article, redirecting readers and Google to other pages on your website for further information or products. Right, examples. I'm finally going to show you some examples of everything that I've just talked about. So I'm going to start with this one because it's color-coded to fuck. So benefits of commercial property investment in Burnley. Hey ho, I'm from Burnley and I'm ranking number 1 for it. I've got a real estate client in Burnley and I write all their copy for them. So let's have a look. Where am I ranking? Let's try some different keywords. We've got commercial property Burnley. Let's see what pops up. So right away, petty commercial is popping up rank 1. Okay, so they've got good domain authority. Did I write this? Experts in commercial property. Yeah, I wrote all this. So this is popping up rank 1 for the search query commercial property in Burnley. Where's my article though? There. So that's my article as well. So my article's popping up on page 1. Commercial property investment in Burnley. Benefits of commercial property investment in Burnley. This is an article that I wrote fucking months ago. I can't remember when. But I wrote this, and you can see it here. If we look, like I said, H1 is the title on the page. So this is your H1, which contains the primary keyword. Let's see if it's ranking. We're ranking higher than that before. I might need to check that. 1 second. I'm going to try some different, so commercial property Burnley, say property investment in Burnley. There, so I'm number 1. I'm in the number 1 spot for property investment in Burnley. What else? Am I commercial? I don't think I'm going to pop up unless I had Burnley in there, I'm going to be honest. I don't think I'm kicking ass against those. Commercial property investment. No, it's geo-specific. I don't think I'm going to rank for that. That's fine, it's a geo-targeted article anyway. I told you don't need to worry too much about geo-targeted stuff. Geo-targeted stuff is basically putting the word Burnley in there if you're writing about something to do with Burnley. So benefits of commercial property investment in Burnley. So property investment in Burnley, commercial property investment, Burnley. I'm ranking page 1 and sometimes number 1 for this article. So this, you can see up here, H1, because it contains the primary keyword, commercial property investment in Burnley. So this is the primary keyword, the full thing, commercial property investment in Burnley. I've just highlighted this green because this is a geo-targeted keyword. Geo-targeted keywords are things that are location specific. And then branded keywords are basically the name of the brand that you're writing for. You need branded keywords throughout all your articles. And LSI keywords are just secondary keywords. It doesn't matter too much. Don't confuse yourself. LSI keywords are the same as secondary keywords. Keywords that are related to the primary keyword. So I've color-coded this. Now I'm not going to read through the full thing. I just mainly want to show you like the structured data and maybe the introduction and things like that. But I just want you to like pause the video, take a photo of it so you can see the keyword density. Okay, and this is going to help you understand how good structured data is in an article when it comes to keyword placement, etc. Okay, so this one, there's not a lot of links. There's a link here, commercial spaces. There's a link here, East Lancashire. The link here, learn more about petty commercial. The link here, the sale of progress works. The link here, our team can help. So there is actually a few links, and then there's a link at the bottom which says contact us here. So I'll just quickly read it. So we've got the H1 tag. So not the title tag, the H1 tag of the article. Benefits of commercial property investment in Burnley. If you're ready to start investing in commercial property or looking for a rental option, Petty Commercial is here to give you the best insights into what's available. I'm highlighting brand attributes in this because this is how they like to talk. Very different to the way I like to talk in my copywriting. In this guide, we'll cover the benefits of property investment in East Lancashire, why Petty Commercial is the leading real estate agent in East Lancashire. So real estate agent is an LSI keyword. So like I said, it's related to property investment, but not directly. Why Burnley is the fastest growing economy in East Lancashire, and why Burnley is the best option for UK property investments. That's a secondary keyword. It's more closely related. So it's more like a rewritten. So secondary keyword is the primary keyword rewritten in a different order. An LSI keyword is something completely different writing-wise, but related to it. So property investment in Burnley, primary keyword. UK property investment, secondary keyword. So it's similar, not the same, whereas LSI keywords are related. Then we go into the H2. So as you can see, H2, heading 2, leading estate agents in Burnley and East Lancashire with over 95 years of experience, blah, 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 blah. Our experience. So obviously I've talked about experience here under the H2. So now I've gone down to H3 to talk more about our experience. So this is the experience that we've got. This is what we do. We're still on H3. This is what we do. Da, 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 da. Now we're moving away from experience and what we do and moving on to the benefits of property investment. So investing in East Lancashire, we've gone back up to H2 again. Investing in East Lancashire is da-da-da-da-da, but none stand above the best of the best. Burnley. H3, expand on Burnley because we've talked about it here. Burnley stands out. Let's talk about it a little bit more. H3, back down. Burnley's growing economy. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. So now we've talked about Burnley in relation to property investment in East Lancashire. Now we're going to talk about Burnley in relation to investing property in Burnley. So it goes back up to H2 again. H2, Burnley is the most profitable location for commercial property investment. Back down to H3 again. Affordable property prices. So you see what I mean? Bounces up and down, contact us, H2. So these are all H3s because they're all related to the final H2 here. So again, if you want to pause this, I've not done a very good job of explaining it. You know, I'm a little bit retarded when it comes to stuff like that. If you want to pause the video, look at the keyword density, see how I've done all this. And basically the way that I've done my keyword research is just researching the topic itself. You can ask AI for keywords as well. Just don't get AI to generate content. Google knows what AI generated content is. You'll tank a website immediately. If even you post one article that's got AI generated content, you will tank a website. I'm telling you now, do it at your own risk. If you do it, you will suffer the consequences and you will never make money as a content marketer. You'll ruin your reputation. You'll just ruin everything, basically. So, moving on. Benefits of commercial property. I'm going to show you one more example now. And this was the example that I was telling you about, which I am super duper proud of, because this is number one. Not just for one search query, but for about 10 different search queries and keywords. And it's not geo-targeted either. This is like a world ranking article. How to become a High Rocks coach. With its popularity growing, High Rocks competitors have taken the fitness world by storm, attracting participants from all over the globe to test their physical endurance. If you're one of those athletes, then now is the best time to learn how you can leverage this spike in popularity to start a fun, profitable, and beneficial High Rocks performance coaching career. H2, what is High Rocks coaching? What qualifications do you need? These are the qualifications that you need. This is more qualifications that you need. Recommended qualifications, back up to H2, how much does it cost? Becoming a High Rocks coach, step by step, step one, Watch this. Watch this now. I'm the best writer in the world for High Rocks coach. How to become a High Rocks coach in Google. Bang! Number one. And I got the fucking AI snippet as well. Look, there, diverse trainers, bang. I've got the AI snippet as well. So these are rich snippets. That's when you get your structured data really good. You get rich snippets. Oh, bang, High Rocks Coach, #1 on Google for how to become a High Rocks Coach. We click on that, you'll see this is my article that I wrote. There's no design whatsoever. It is literally just an article. How to become a High Rocks Coach in 2025. With its popularity growing, And again, I'm more than happy for you to start reaching out to these guys. And if you want to fact check me to find out if I actually wrote these or not, I'm more than happy for you to do it. I don't give a fuck. I make a lot of money doing this. I'm sure I'll get a good testimonial. So this is the article. Now watch this. This is even better. Where do we go? Let's find some different keywords. Are you ready for this? Not even the primary keyword. What is High Rocks Coaching? What's this? This isn't even the primary keyword. You're not supposed to rank like this for secondary keywords. You're only supposed to rank for the primary keyword. What is High Rocks Coaching? Oh, so we've got High Rocks. Oh, I'm number 3. I'm fucking number 3 on Google. I've got a direct competitor there with the exact same thing. I'm smashing it. I'm number 3 on Google for what is a High Rocks Coach. You ready for this? Now watch this. What qualifications do you need? Copy. Number 1. Number 1 again. Let's have a look. Let's see if I'm ranking for this. I'll be fucking impressed if I'm ranking for this. I don't actually know if I'm ranking for this one. Number 1! High Rocks Level 1 course. Let's do that. Let's get rid of this. Where am I? High Rocks 365 Level 1 course. There! What else did I do? 1 second. So I'm literally ranking for everything. Let's try this. Let's do High Rocks Performance Coaching Course. High Rocks Academy. Oh, they're beating me there, you little bastards. They're beating me for that one, but I'm still there. I'm literally ranking for fucking every variation of almost every single keyword in this article. It's my best article by far. And this article, let's just go back to it. Let's have a look. What qualifications do you need? How much does it cost? I know that they're getting 6 sales a month from this article. Let me have a look. So how much money are they making? How much does it cost? So they're making $6,000 a month from my article. More than $6,000 a month from my article. Every single month they're making that money because I wrote this article. $6,000 a month from this. That's how much my client is making. $6 fucking grand a month. So now do you understand why these guys will pay you so much money? Do you know how much Diverse pays me to write their content? $1,000 a month. Do you know how much content I write? 1 article. So I'm getting paid $1,000 for every article that I write. Do you know why? Because this article that they've paid me $1,000 for fucking 1,700 words, this thing took me about 10 hours to write, and I made $1,000 in a day. And the reason they pay me $1,000 for this article, for this type of content, is because they're making back a return of $6,000 every single month in exchange for this writing. So now do you understand why you get paid so much money to do this? I could very easily ask for more money. And to be honest, that's just kind of just put it into perspective for me. So I might start asking for $5,000 per article, especially for ones like this. Pay me $5,000 once to make an additional $6,000 every single month for the rest of your life. Sounds like a good deal. So you basically get no profit for the first month, then pure profit for every month after. Sounds like a good deal. I'm going to up my prices. I'll have that conversation with Chris. Chris is Chris Mullin. He's the guy who owns Diverse Trainers. Look him up. So I'll have that conversation with Chris and get some more money. For now, that is the end of the content marketing education side of the course. Now, I'm going to show you how to effectively close copywriting clients. that pay you thousands and thousands and thousands. Before we start, piss break. This is where shit gets real. Are you ready for this? This is where things get difficult. This is the place where 99.99% of new content writers quit. Are you a quitter? Or have you just wasted fuck knows how many hours of your life watching this video? Or are you going to be within the 0.01% like me, sipping champagne while everybody else asks how you did it? This is what separates the men from the boys. Are you ready? Good. Go for a piss and get ready to learn how to make 20 grand a month with the skills that I have just taught you over the past 3 hours. Ready? Good. Piss break, fag break. I'm gonna go and have a cigarette and make my fucking breath stink because they've just banned disposable e-cigarettes in the UK, so I'm gonna go and make my breath stink. I'll be back in a second and you guys will see me in literally a second. Right, I'm back. Let's get to the juicy stuff. Let's teach you how to make a shit ton of money. 20 grand a month. Writing articles, writing emails, writing ads, and understanding the full content marketing sales funnel, which is going to let you make 20 grand a month because you're going to make businesses a lot of money. Imagine you've got SEO articles bringing in thousands every month. You've got ads going out generating leads and then pulling in lead magnets to websites and then funneling them through email campaigns and then converting them on sales pages. And now you know how to do all of that. You know how to make a shit ton of money. Let's get to it. My camera is literally on its last legs, so I need to get through this quickly. Now, I have a video discussing what I'm going to teach you in this. So if my camera, I'm going to speed through it, but if you want more information or you want another outreach method, the one that I used to make that 17 grand in the first 2 months, I've got another video on my channel called How I Signed 15 Clients in 2 months. That's the video. That's a different outreach method that I'm not going to teach you. I'm going to speed through this one. Then if you need another outreach method, go and watch that. Or if you want more information on outreach and getting clients, remember, sign up to the newsletter, join the community. So how do you actually get paid? You need to convince a rich person to pay you money for this skill that I have now taught you. They'll pay you because you'll make them more rich. Simple as that. It's called a return on investment or ROI. Every successful business spends money to help them make more money. And what does a copywriter do? Answer it. What does a copywriter do? We convince people to spend money. So why not use your skills to convince someone to spend money on you? Oh my God. I can use these skills to convince someone to pay me money rather than just convincing other people to pay them money. Wow. Oh my God. Never thought of that. Fucking hell. Rocket science. So where do you find rich people? To find rich people, you need to find businesses. To find businesses, go to literally any website. You can find the best websites on apollo.io. You can go to Apollo, enter your email, join up, and then there'll be a little section saying find businesses. You just type in a keyword. So if you type in fitness, it'll come up with all the businesses associated with fitness. And then you just go on their email. Once you've found a suitable business, you need to find the boss's email. You have to scrape the CEO's email so that you can email them directly. You do not want to contact a sales team. You do not want to contact an info email. You need the personal email address of the CEO, the decision maker, because that is how you get things done, by talking to the decision maker, because he's going to make the decision to pay you money. Now, if you want this software, due to data protection reasons, I cannot give you this software on the video because YouTube will ban this video. I cannot give you this software. So if you want it, sign up to my newsletter, fill out the survey, and you will get it. You will get the software that lets you scrape CEOs' emails. When you sign up to my newsletter, make sure you fill out the form. You are interested in starting an online career and you want to become a freelance content marketer. Those are the 2 questions that you need to answer. You need to hit those, then you'll be put in the right segment, you'll receive the right emails. Now, once you've scraped their email and you've got their email, you need to convince them that you A stranger can help them make more money as long as they pay you first. Sounds like a scam? Yes. That's why you need to do it right. And this is why 99.9% are quitting, because they can't get it right. So preparations. Before you send your outreach, you need to have some things prepared. The first one is Loom. Make sure you're writing this down. You need Loom to record videos. The screen recording that you are watching, the presentation, is a Loom video, but you can also record your face and your voice. I've just got them switched off because I'm recording it separate on my camera. You have to record Loom videos in your pictures so that you can deliver your pitch in video format to explain how it is that you can help their business. So you need Loom. You also need Canva. Now, Canva is going to help you demonstrate your services by building a workflow on Canva. So you will build a workflow template that will basically say, right, this is how my content marketing strategy will work. Ad. I'll write you an ad for awareness. They'll click on that ad, it'll take them to a landing page. That landing page will convert their email. Then they'll sign up to the newsletter. Once they're signed up to the newsletter, they'll get a welcome email. Then they'll get this email, that email, that email. Then it will funnel them through the sales page, and then the sales page will funnel the sale. You build that on Canva, you show it to them. Bosh. Want more information on how to do that? Go and watch my Loom video tutorial on my channel to show you how to create this Loom video pitch and to show you how to build the template in Canva. And if you want that template, it's also in my newsletter. Lead magnets. Sign up and get it for free. Preparations, booking calls. You need Calendly to book calls. You're going to send your calendar link, and this is how prospects are going to book calls with you once you've gone through the outreach process, which I'm going to teach you. You want Zoom or Google Meet or Teams. Fuck off Google Meet. You can figure all this out yourself. Just write it all down. Microsoft Teams, all that sort of stuff. Somewhere that you can get on a call with a prospect and speak to them on a video call. How much percent am I on? Oh my God, it's dropping well quick. My camera's going to die. Microsoft Teams. So preparations, getting paid. So those are the things that you need to book calls. You need Calendly and you need something to take the call on. Zoom, I use Zoom because I prefer Zoom. To get paid, you need a payment gateway. So you can use Stripe, you can use PayPal, you can use Cash App, you can use Wise, whatever it is that you want to use to get paid, use one of them. Again, I'm not going to show you. You can find tutorials on how to send invoices and stuff on YouTube completely for free. Just type it in. Once you've got those, once you've set it up, once you know how to get everything ready, you're prepared, right? You can book calls, you're prepared to send Loom video pictures, you've got a case study template, and you can get paid, you can send invoices. So now you're prepared, you're ready for the outreach. So this is an example of outreach that doesn't work. We've got a couple of examples here. So this is something that someone posted in the community, and funnily enough, it's Kareem who, when he first started, he was posting these ridiculous ideas in the community, these ridiculous ideas that don't work. He's improved a lot now. Kareem is the guy who wrote the storytelling comparison email that I showed you earlier. Subject line, how to maximize your email marketing revenue in less than 2 weeks. And then just describing the value of a freelance copywriter and pitching how you can grow their business. So basically, he's saying that when you scrape a CEO's email, you send them this message with the subject line, how to maximize email revenue, and then pitching them immediately. Why does it not work? Template breakdown, how to maximize your email marketing revenue. This subject line does not work because business owners receive dozens of spam emails just like this every single day. Maximize this, revenue that. These emails get lost in a sea of desperate junk, so you will be ignored if you reach out like this. The subject line that you need to use is your name, or their name, your name. The reason why this works is because it's intriguing. Business owners have a responsibility to check their emails. They receive important emails every day and they must check through them thoroughly. If your subject line is I'm a copywriter and I want your money, then they know exactly what's in the email before they even open it. Therefore, they will ignore you. But if your subject line is the same as the above, as in this, they have to open it because it could be something very important. Real quick, I need to do this because my camera's going to die and it's going to fuck up everything. I'm back. So you need to use this subject line to get them to actually open your email because it's intriguing. It could be something important. They are going to open it. Now for the body copy, describing the value of copywriting and pitching how you can grow their business, plus using Loom videos to explain yourself, plus using examples. all in one email. Why it doesn't work. If you've been paying attention, then you might recognize stages of awareness. When sending cold outreach, you are targeting prospects who are unaware, which you all know. They don't know they have a problem, they don't know a solution exists, and they don't know you. This attempt at cold outreach aims to dump all of this knowledge on the prospect in one email, which is a fatal mistake. These guys don't know you and they don't care about you. As soon as you start pitching services, your email will be deleted and ignored. You need to make them care about you. You need to make them aware, then you need to make them interested, and then you need to make them consider their options. Then you need to close them. If you try and do all this in one email, it doesn't work. So here's an example. First off, best practices or things that you should avoid. You want to avoid industry jargon in the first message that you send. This is saying things like revenue, conversions, email sequences, or copywriting. This will immediately sound off alarm bells that this is a sales pitch. They don't care about you or your service. You are a bad taste in their mouth, a flea biting their skin. If they are unaware, then you need to make them aware. Identify a problem they have, then ask them a question hinting at this problem. This could be anything from a missing welcome sequence, poor website copy, missed opportunities for data capture, etc., etc. Find them as a question. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. I think that's a typo. So basically, you're going to ask them a question which hints at a problem. So bad outreach is, hi there, I subscribe to your newsletter and I notice you don't have a welcome sequence. Is this something you intend to look into? You're missing serious potential in revenue by not utilizing email automations. If you pay me $1,000, I can make you more money with copywriting. Shit. Any business owner that sees that, bang, you're gone into the abyss. Good outreach. Hi there, I subscribed to your newsletter a few days ago, but I still haven't received anything in my emails. Is this normal or will I be receiving an email from you soon? Why does it work? It works because you've subtly highlighted a problem by asking them a question. The prospect is now aware of a problem, but they are not yet aware of a solution or don't yet understand that a solution is needed. Once they respond, then you can continue the engagement funnel. This is follow-up one. Hi there, we release a monthly newsletter to all our subscribers. The next one is scheduled to release in X weeks. Thank you for signing up. Bad follow-up. Thanks for clarifying. Did you know that setting up a welcome sequence could potentially bring you more sales to the business? Neglecting email automations is the same as leaving money on the table. Rubbish. A good follow-up would be, thanks for clarifying. I was hoping to receive an email from you as soon as I signed up to your newsletter, but I'm definitely excited for the next one, however long it takes. What type of news do you usually release? Now, why does this work? Now you've made them aware of a potential solution. Subscribers receiving an immediate email, but you haven't made it clear what that solution is. You've ended with a question to entice a response and continue the conversation. This is crucial. Crucial to following through. You understand the different stages of engagement. You're funneling through those different stages. Their response could be, I'm sorry to hear you didn't receive an email yesterday. This is definitely something we could potentially look into. Our newsletter is to update subscribers on the latest products and discounts, as well as news about the brand. So a bad follow-up would be, well, I'm actually an email copywriter. No. Rubbish. Good follow-up would be, that's all right. It would definitely be a good idea to set up some sort of automation for new subscribers. You might be able to offer them discounts or special offers after they sign up to try and close the deal while the interest is still high. I happen to know a thing or two about email automations. Because I love your brand so much, I made a quick video for you to demonstrate how it works and how it could possibly help you and your brand. Hope it helps. This works because the second follow-up is much more genuine and offers a visual representation of what the brand is missing, how that gap can be filled, and how it will benefit them in the long run. Then follow-up 3. Wow, that video was really helpful. Thank you. Some prospects might even ask for a call from here. If they don't, then say this. And obviously in the previous one, you're going to send your Loom video, which I'm going to teach you to do in a moment. Happy to help. There's only so much I can pack into a 5-minute video, so the process is a little bit more complicated than that. If it sounds good to you, we could jump on a quick call so I can explain things a little better for you. Here's the link if you'd like to chat. All the best. This works because the prospect is now aware of a problem, aware that a solution exists, and aware that you, the product, are the solution. They know that they can solve this problem themselves, they know that they can't solve this problem themselves, and they know that they need your help. So key takeaways, outreach is copywriting. You are using persuasive language to convince someone to buy something. Trying to push the prospect through the 5 stages of engagement in one email is impossible. So you want to avoid jargon in early emails to stay under the radar. You want to slowly introduce the problems they have and the solutions to those problems before you highlight yourself and your service as the solution that they need. You want to demonstrate how you can help with a Loom video to build trust and authority, and you want to entice an urgent call to action by hinting that they aren't able to solve this problem alone. I'm going to show you exactly how to do that in the next section of the video with the Loom script. So for now, I'm going to stop right there because I need to charge my camera. I'm not going to go anywhere. I'm going to sit here because I told myself I was going to do this in one sitting, which I am going to do. So I'm going to leave this to charge for a while, my camera, and then we're going to continue the video because I don't want to mislead you all. And yeah, I'd rather just do it all in one sitting. So I'll see you in half a second. Right, camera is charged slightly. Unfortunately, I am going to have to add some cuts from here on out because every 10 minutes or so, I'm charging this tripod. There's a tripod there that's plugged into my camera. Every 10 minutes or so, I'm going to have to swap tripods back and forth to make sure my camera stays charged. So this one's going to charge while that's recording, and then I'll unplug this, plug that one in, that one will charge, this one will charge, etc., etc. So it's going to kind of keep things going. So I am going to add cuts so the video doesn't drastically reduce in quality. There'll be cuts every 10 minutes or so. Apologies. Oh well, I want this, I don't want to rush it. I want to make sure it's as comprehensive as possible. So let's just do a quick recap now because I did rush through it a little bit. Like I said, there's a full video showing you this outreach method on my channel already. And there's also a full video showing you a different outreach method, the one that I used to earn $20,000 in 2 months. So you can go back and watch that. But basically, outreach is copywriting. You are funneling them through the different stages of interest and engagement step by step. If you try and do it all in one email, it doesn't work. So ask them a question which hints at a problem. They will then subconsciously understand that that problem exists, talk about the potential solution. Why didn't I receive an email instantly? It might be a good idea to send emails instantly, blah, blah, blah. You get the general idea. So let's move on to Loom because it's lost 2% already as my camera. So for the Loom script, you've done all the hard work. You've sent the perfect cold email. You've got the prospect to engage in conversation and you've made them problem aware without sounding salesy. And you've teased a solution without scaring them off. And the next step is a killer Loom video to help you seal the deal. What's the script? The script lies in the case study you will demonstrate on the video. So this is what I was talking about earlier where I told you about the full funnel content strategy. So social media lead gen, SEO organic traffic, paid outreach, paid ads, etc., etc. Those are going to funnel to a landing page. Those are going to funnel to a sales page or a newsletter sign up. If it funnels to a newsletter sign up, they'll get a welcome sequence, free value, consultations, etc., etc. So you'll use this in your script when you are sending a Loom video. And this is how you will explain your content marketing services and how they can make the business more money. And this will just help the prospect that you're reaching out to understand how you can help. And it adds a human touch to the outreach that you're sending because people resonate more with people than they do with sales on text, okay? So videos always work better. So who are you and why are you making this video? This is the confident introduction. This is not the time to be timid or apologetic. You are here as an expert, so introduce yourself with confidence. You can just go full-blown sales pitch mode now because they're in the conversion stage. If they're watching the video, if they've clicked on the video and sat there to watch it, they are interested. So you can just go full-blown sales pitch. You're not trying to beat it around the bush now. You just get straight to the point. So you start a Loom video. I'll just use Chris as an example, diverse. Hi Chris, so as I mentioned in our chat, I've noticed a little bit of a gap in your marketing. I wanted to make this quick video just to walk you through a small tweak that I think can make a big difference in your email marketing. The thing that I'm talking about is a welcome sequence. So that's the introduction for 30 seconds. Why does it work? It's direct and there's no unnecessary fluff. It feels personal, not a mass email, and it hints at immediate value, something that they can change right now. It can make a big difference. It's a small tweak. It's easy, new, safe, big. And the next 60 seconds is going to be the problem breakdown. You show them what's wrong in their current setup. You've already identified an issue, like missing welcome sequence or weak email engagement. Now you need to show them the problem on their own website or email setup. So you will pull up their emails and describe the problem. So on the screen would be their emails as you are doing this. So I signed up to your newsletter a few days ago and I noticed I didn't receive a welcome email. That's a missed opportunity because your subscribers are most engaged right after signing up. So without a welcome email, you're leaving them in the dark. They are interested, that's why they've signed up to your newsletter. So you need to give them something immediately. And as you can see here, I've signed up to your newsletter, but I still haven't received anything yet. It is a massive missed opportunity because you need to get them while they're hot. 60 seconds. It makes the issue feel real because they can see it happening in their own business. It's logical. Oh wow, I'm actually missing this. And you're not blaming them, you're just showing them an oversight that they haven't thought about. So don't make them feel stupid, don't make them feel incompetent. It's just an oversight that they may not have thought about. Then, this is when you go over the solution. This is how you use the template. So explain how to fix it without overwhelming them with jargon. This is where you introduce your service as a solution, but instead of pitching, you're going to educate them. The easiest way to fix this is with an automated welcome sequence. This will allow you to instantly engage new subscribers, introduce your brand, and direct them to your offers automatically. It's a game changer for increasing sales and keeping the email subscribers engaged. Let me show you how to do it. So you're going to talk a little bit more in depth for a couple of minutes, and then you're going to show them how to do it. Case study. So you're not pushing them to hire you yet. You're just explaining how the problem can be solved. You're building curiosity, so now they know how you're going to set this up for them. And you're asserting expertise because this is something that's proven to work. It's not something you think might work. So during this, you're going to say this, and then you're going to show them the case study. So first things first, the thing that I'm going to help you with is a welcome email. I'm going to help you with this welcome email, and what it's going to do is it's going to add a subscriber to your The first thing they're going to get is a warm welcome and I'm going to give them some free value. They're going to get and then after they've got that free value, it's going to build trust. It's going to do this. Tell them everything that you've learned in this video to explain how the email sequence works in terms of marketing and getting sales. Always talk about not what it does, but how it benefits them. So when they get this welcome email, they're warm, they're ready to buy. When they get this next email, this is if they're not ready to buy, it's going to help make them ready to buy. Always talk about how it's going to help. Never talk about what it does. Always how it helps, how it benefits them. And then the soft call to action. Give them a way to take the next step without pressuring them. This is where you transition into a call to action, but gently. So once you finish the pitch, which should be like 4 minutes long, you jump into the call to action. So that's basically how I can help your business with email marketing. And of course, there's only so much that I can cover in a 5-minute video. But if this sounds interesting, I would love to walk you through the full progress on a quick call. No pressure, just a chat to see whether or not I would be a good fit for you and your brand. If that sounds good, let me know and I'll send over a link for you to get a call booked with me. And why does it work? You built curiosity and subtle urgency. There's more to learn. You're removing pressure. No pressure, just a chat. And you're giving them control. It's their choice, not a forced sales pitch. So key takeaways for a winning Loom video. Try to keep it under 6 minutes long. Anything longer feels like homework. Use a confident, natural tone, nothing robotic or overly rehearsed. Make sure your screen is clean, no messy tabs open. Keep it professional. Make sure they can see you clearly. People trust faces more than voices. Do not record a Loom video in your bedroom with your t-shirt off and wallpaper peeling off the wall behind you. Make sure you're in a semi-professional setting. And most importantly, have fun with it. A Loom video isn't a formal presentation, it's a personal walkthrough. So treat it like you're showing a friend how to fix something simple. So now I'm going to show you the Loom video. No, I'm not. That's from my other, I forgot to get rid of that. So this is from my other Loom video that I was talking to you about the channel. If you want to actually watch that, go and watch the Loom video tutorial. It does explain things a little bit more in depth, but to be honest, it's all hit the same notes in this one. But if you want a little bit more in depth, go and watch that video and you can actually see the Loom video that I sent to a prospect that worked. So Now you've sent your outreach, you've funneled them through the different stages of engagement through a natural conversation, and you've sent your Loom pitch. Now they've booked a call. So this is where the sales call comes into things. So a sales call is not a casual chat. You need to be prepared, because the more prepared you are, the more confident you're going to sound. So before the call, make sure you research the prospect. You want to know their business, their pain points, and what they actually care about. Nothing is worse than hopping on a call and asking, so, what does your company do? Instant L. You need to know everything there is to know about their business. So just do some research. Go on their website, read their FAQs, everything. Just fully understand their business. And the best way to do that is reading everything on their website. Clear objectives. You want to define clear objectives. What do you want this call? Do you want a sale, a commitment, another meeting? If you don't know what you want, you're not going to get anything. Generally, you want to get the sale immediately. Have your invoices ready to go on Stripe, on PayPal, whichever one. Make sure they are ready. You want about 10 different invoices for 10 different potential scenarios. You want an invoice for 500 quid, 1,000, 1,500, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000. An invoice for every scenario. 10% battery. And you want proposals on deck. If they need to review details, have pre-written proposals ready to send. This way you don't waste time drafting something from scratch while they lose interest. So you want to have your proposal ready to go. A proposal is basically just a document that you have pre-prepared, written to describe what they're going to get and how much they're going to pay you for it and exactly what you're going to do and what you're not going to do. It's very, very simple. Ask ChatGPT, it will write you a proposal. If you've spoken to them through messages and over the Loom video about doing a welcome sequence for them, you will write them a proposal for a welcome sequence, but you will leave the price blank for now. You will edit it once you come to an agreement. So basically the proposal is going to say, I, James Cavanagh, which is me, James Cavanagh, propose this welcome sequence for diverse trainers. What I will be doing in this welcome sequence is I will be writing you a welcome email, I will be writing you a follow-up email, another follow-up email, a brand attribute email, this email, and then a direct response email. I will not be building this email on your ESP. If you are going to, then you will say, I will be building this email on your ESP. I will not design this email. It will just be the text. If you are going to design it, I will design this email, talk about what you are going to do, what you're not going to do, and then have a price at the bottom. If they want to negotiate that price, you remove services. You don't just drop the price for no reason. So if you're doing the software management and the design and the building of the automation, and you want $2,000 a month for that, or it'd be a flat fee. For a welcome sequence, you get a flat fee, so they pay you about $1,000. So if you want $1,000 for that and they push back and say, I don't have $1,000 to invest, and you say, no problem. I can still write the copy for you and still design the emails, but I won't set it up on your email provider. That way I can do it for £800 instead. They still push, oh, well, I've got about 500. Not a problem. I can still do the emails for you for £500 and they'll still do the same job, funneling the prospect through the different stages of the buyer's journey. But I won't design the emails and I won't build the automation inside your ESP. How does that sound? Yes? Cool. And then you just change the proposal. So when the call starts, the first thing you want to do is build rapport. Don't be a sales robot. You're not calling to immediately pitch. First, you need to loosen them up. So start the conversation like a normal human being. Ask them how they're doing, because people love to talk about themselves. Ask about their business, what got you into this industry, and ask about their goals. What's the big picture for your brand? It works because 1, it makes them feel comfortable. 2, it shifts the focus onto them because people love to talk about their business. And 3, it gives you more information to use later because you're going to find out their motivations and their priorities so that you can leverage that to give a better pitch. And 4, which I haven't put in the slide, it helps you settle down. Because when you get in a sales call, you are going to be so fucking scared of fucking it up that you are going to be on jitters. You're going to be like, oh, you're going to be on jitters. It is terrifying, especially your first one. So building that rapport and having the prospects sit and talk about themselves gives your body time to relax. It lets the adrenaline die down and it's going to reassure you that this is just a conversation with another human being. It's not a big, scary CEO that's going to ruin your life and it's just another person. So you're going to have a laugh together and it's going to help you settle down. That way, you can deliver your pitch more clearly. So I am now going to cut the video while I change the tripod to keep the camera charged so it doesn't die. So I'll see you literally right now. Editor, look at that. It's almost like magic. Right. So now that you've built rapport, it's time to qualify the prospect and make sure they are worth it. Now this is more, to be honest, I'm just going to skip over this. I'm going to breeze over this because this doesn't apply to 99% of you. You only want to be qualifying prospects on call when you're experienced and you can afford to lose a client. You absolutely do not want to do this if you don't have any clients. You only do this when you are in a position where you can turn a client down for your own energy and your own sanity. When you're first starting, you just take everything that you can get. Because when you take everything you can get, even if it's hard at first, you're still going to get paid. So you've got your basic bills and stuff covered, and you're going to build case studies and that trust and that authority to pitch people later down the line. So you don't want to do this if you're a beginner. You only do this if you're advanced and you can afford to lose a client. So very quickly, I'll breeze over it. Not every lead is worth chasing. So ask open-ended questions at the beginning. Do they need what you're selling? Do they have budget for it? Are they serious or are they just browsing? Asking questions like, what's your biggest challenge when it comes to email marketing? Have you worked for a copywriter before? What is your main goal? Why this works? You control the conversation, you filter out bad ideas, you gather valuable ammunition. You don't need to do this stage when you're first starting. Just from the intro, jump straight into presenting your solution. So now that you know their pain points, it's time to position your service as the ultimate fix. So after the introduction, getting to know them and talking about their business and their goals and their struggles and blah, 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 you're going to be in a position now where you can deliver your service as the ultimate solution to all those problems that they've just articulated while it's fresh in their mind. But here's the trick. You don't just list your services, you frame it as an investment. So use this script. When I said learn everything about their brand, that includes their offers, okay? So for example, if they have an offer for £150 per month, this is how you're going to frame it. Let me give you an example of why this investment makes sense for you. You've got an offer for £150 per month for your program. With my methods, I'll only need to generate 10 sales in 1 month for you to make £1,500 in your first month. And that's assuming we only get the worst case scenario, because my techniques are designed to generate more than just 10 sales, as I've described to you. And it'd be even easier as well if you've got case studies and stuff to back it up. So my skills are designed to get even more than 10 sales per month. But let's just say hypothetically, you've got 50,000 people on your email list. All I need is to close 10 of them, and you've made £1,500. By month 2, my marketing will have brought in £3,000. But not only that, not only will it have brought in £3,000, but by month 2, it will have actually brought in £4,500, because the guys who signed up last month are on a monthly basis, so they're going to pay again. And what's going to happen is all these subscribers each month are going to snowball. So you're going to make an additional £1,500 for the 10 new people that get signed up every month, and you're going to get paid again from your existing subscribers. And assuming I sign 10 people every month and use my techniques to keep them engaged throughout the duration of that 12 months, then by the end of 12 months, you're looking at making £117,000 just from implementing this strategy alone, because it's going to snowball. After 3 years, it's not going to be 330 grand, it'll be more like $1 million. Do the maths beforehand. I did the maths for this little section, and that's correct. Assuming 10 people sign up every month and everyone stays subscribed and keeps paying every month, by the end of 12 months, instead of it being, 15,000, it's actually 117,000. So why this work? It shifts the focus from cost to profit. They see it as a return, not an expense. It paints a clear financial picture. Now they're thinking about the potential revenue and not what they're paying you. And it positions you as a results-driven expert. You know exactly how your service impacts the bottom line. Very important. Now, handling objections is a big one without sounding defensive. At some point, they're going to hesitate or push back. This is completely normal. So some common objections include, how do I know this will work if you've never done it before? I'm not sure it'll work for my business, or we've already had someone handling this. You need to handle it by staying calm and positives. and positive, because objections aren't rejections. They're concerns that need addressing. All you have to do is reframe the value. The cost isn't what matters, the results are. You're not paying for words, you're paying for increased revenue. Keep reminding them of the benefits of paying you money rather than reminding them of what they're paying you money for. Don't tell them what you're going to do. I write emails. No, I am going to help you make more money. Tell them how it benefits them and reinforce your qualifications if you've got some. Or even so, just say I've been personally mentored by Cav Legacy and established a content marketer who's generated thousands for his clients. Just say that. Just say I'm your mentor and you've gone through my program. Redirect them to my website and just say that I'm your mentor and you've done my training. Even if you haven't done it, just say that you have. And it's just going to reinforce your qualifications. And then closing the sale without awkwardly begging for it. Here's the golden rule of closing. You do not bring up the price first. If they don't ask, just stop talking. So you're going to get to a point in this call at some point where there's an awkward silence. After you've delivered everything, after they've handled their objections, at some point they're going to nod their head and they're going to go, yeah, sounds like a really good idea, does that? And then you're going to go, and you're just going to sit there and say nothing and just stare at them. And they will speak first because silence creates pressure, which forces them to either ask for pricing, which means they're interested, or give you an objection, which you can handle by reframing the benefits. So how to transition into closing. Based on everything we've discussed, how do you feel about moving forward? If they say they're interested, then you send your invoice immediately. This is why you prepped it earlier. You want to get paid on call whilst they're still emotional, whilst they're still thinking about the benefits. If you give them time to justify their decision with logic after the call, they will find reasons not to pay you. So get paid immediately on the call. And the commission backup plan for when they hesitate. If they really hesitate, especially over price, offer a risk-free commission agreement. And this is great for beginners who just want case studies. It's a good thing to do free work. Like I said, you're going to do a lot of free work at the beginning. It's completely normal. So how to offer commission-based work. I get that investing in marketing is a big decision, but if you want a lower risk option, we could do a commission-based deal. Meaning, if you don't see results, you don't pay anything. No results, no expenses. It works because it's going to remove risk, so they have nothing to lose, only upsides. It builds trust, you're confident enough to bet on your own results, and it closes hesitant clients, something some people just need that final push. And it's also great because if you do a really, really good job and you agree on a 10% commission deal, you can end up getting paid 50 grand a month. Like, that's a bit of an exaggeration, but you can end up getting paid 5-6 grand a month, 10% of what they're making, which is more than what they pay you on a retainer. So commission deals can be a really good idea. If they're generating 100 grand a month, you implement these sales funnels and now they're pulling in 150 grand a month on a 10% rev share deal, that's 5 grand. Or if it's 10% on total revenue, which it won't be, it'll be 10% on the additional profit, so 50 grand, you're getting 5 grand a month instead of the grand that you offered them. So commissions can be a really good idea to go forward with. So congratulations, this is where the snowball effect kicks in. Now you have a 1 to 2K client, it's time to get another one. And eventually you will start getting clients from clients, i.e. referrals, because one, you're doing good work for them, so you're making them lots of money. They're going to refer you to their friends. It is a natural process. I get so many referrals, I can't keep up with them. I have got so many potential clients in my network, and I'm going to talk to you about that at the end of this video, all the extra work that I can't do, which I need copywriters and content marketers for. I'm going to talk to you about that at the end of this. But you are going to get to a point where you're getting so many referrals that you can't manage them. This is how you scale. Getting that first client is by far the hardest part. But once you conquer this milestone, it is all uphill. So how to scale from 2 grand to 5 grand. You want to keep outreaching. Do not settle. When you close a client, don't think that you won. You haven't. This is what I see too many people doing wrong. They close a client, they get comfortable. Oh, I've done it now. No. Keep outreaching, keep going in all your spare time after you've done your client work. Keep outreaching to get more clients and more money. Now you'll have case studies, so convincing prospects just became a lot easier. So much easier that you're going to close near enough every single sales call that you get on. It is going to be so much easier, and you're going to close more sales calls as well. You're going to get more calls booked because you can use those testimonials in your Loom video as well. So it gets so much easier. So you want to keep outreaching. Another way is to ask for a pay rise. If you do good work, they will keep paying you. If you do great work, they'll pay you more. Ask for a pay rise. If you're making 50 grand a month and they're paying you $1,000, fucking tell them straight. $1,000 a month is not enough. I want 5 grand. But approach it obviously naturally and comfortably and calmly, and like you're not desperate for a pay rise. Just reframe the benefits, reframe the value. Listen, I've noticed that you're making 50 grand a month from all my campaigns. I feel like I deserve a pay rise. And if they like you, they'll give it to you. So that's how to scale from 2 to 5 grand. Now we get to the referrals. How to scale from 5 to 10 grand. Network with your clients. Meet their friends, because rich people hang out with rich people. Network with them. Ask to meet them. Fly out somewhere. Go and meet them. Get involved. And ask for a referral. Do you know anyone else that might need my help? Takes 2 seconds. Keep asking them once a month, every month. And eventually, they will push someone towards you, especially if you're doing good work for them. All of a sudden, you've got 10 clients, you're making 10 grand a month. It's literally that simple. It's genuinely that simple. And if you want to take it one step further and start a copywriting, content marketing agency and become a millionaire, this is how you do it. You've mastered copywriting, you've closed multiple clients, and you're making 10 grand a month. Now, you're working 40 hours a week to keep up. That's a solid income, but it's also a job. Unfortunately, becoming a millionaire as a freelance content marketer, if it's your only source of income, is impossible. The average for a successful copywriter is 5 to 10 grand a month. Like I said, if you're exceptional, you can make 20 grand a month like me. But the average realistic expectation, like I said at the beginning of the video, is 5 to 10 grand a month. But let's be honest, you didn't go through this course just to have another job, did you? You want freedom, you want more money, and the only way to scale past your own time limitations is to leverage other people's time. That's how you turn your copywriting hustle into an empire, into $1 million business. So step 1, fire yourself and keep the profits. Right now you're making 10 grand per month writing copy, but every single dollar is tied to your time. If you stop writing, your income will disappear. So let's stop trading time for money. You hire your first employee, a junior copywriter, for 2 grand a month. You hand off your first 10K worth of work to them, and you keep the remaining 8 grand for yourself. Boom, you just made 8 grand for doing nothing. This is what businesses do. They delegate work to keep the difference. And now, instead of writing 40 hours a week, your job is to keep getting more clients. So step 2, double the revenue, double the profit. Since you're not writing anymore, you can now spend all your time landing new clients. So let's say within 2 to 3 months, you land another 10K in copywriting contracts. You repeat the same formula. You hire another copywriter for 2 grand a month. You hand out the new 10 grand a month worth of work to them, and you keep the 16 grand left over passively. Rinse and repeat. Now things get fun. Let's scale this process. Each time you land another 10K client, you hire another 2 grand a month copywriter, you keep 8 grand profit. Free up more time to grow. So let's see what this looks like after a year of upscaling. 5 writers doing 50 grand's worth of work, you keep 40 grand a month. 10 writers doing 100 grand's worth of work, you keep 80 grand a month. 15 writers doing 150 grand's worth of work, you keep 120 grand per month. And at this stage, you're not just a copywriter anymore, you're running a full-blown copywriting agency, and you're a fucking millionaire. Here's the millionaire math. Let's do some real numbers. If you're making 100 grand a month, so you've got 15 employees, and you're making 100 grand a month, that's 1.2 million a year. 200, 2.4, 300 grand a month, that's 3.6 million a year. And guess what? You're not even writing anymore. Your role becomes hiring, managing, and scaling, while your team does all the client work. And of course, running an agency comes with some expenses beyond just employee salaries. But even after accounting for things like payroll, 2 grand a copywriter, software and tools, maybe 1 to 2 grand per month for project management and automation, marketing and outreach, 2 grand a month on ads, lead gen, sales rep, or an office, remote, this is $0, you're still walking away with a massive profit margin. This is why agencies print money. Your only real cost is labor. And as long as you price your services properly, you'll always be ahead. So start thinking like a CEO. Most copywriters never make more than 10 grand a month because they refuse to delegate. They think no one can write as well as I can, but here's the truth. Your clients don't care if you write it. They just want good copy that converts. You can train writers to match your quality, and your business is only as big as your mindset. If you keep writing everything yourself, you'll cap your income at 40 hours a week. So when you build a team, your earning potential becomes limitless. So you've got two choices. Keep writing forever and stay at 10 grand a month, or start hiring, scaling, and build your $1 million agency. The choice is yours, which leads me on to the end of this video. If you want a head start in your career, in your copywriting career, if you want to skip the 3 months of grueling outreach, where you send 1 million messages a day and get turned down and get fucked off, constantly doing free work, writing for free to try and gain trust, to try and get case studies, to try and get testimonials, you want to fuck all that off. If you just want to learn how to become a freelance content marketing expert and jump straight into paid work to get testimonials, to get case studies, to network with clients and build your freelance content marketing career, then allow me to introduce the Legacy Room. It's my own copywriting and content marketing agency. I showed you the website. As of recording this video, it's not 100% finished. Hopefully, by the time the video goes live, it will be 100% finished. And my intention with this agency is to help you guys whilst also putting money in my pocket. 10% battery. Whilst also putting money in my pocket. You help me, I help you. So the plan with this agency is to take the most talented content marketers and give you work. So I'm going to save you all the trouble of having to outreach. And trust me, outreach is fucking miserable. It can take months to sign that first client. It is the hardest part. But like I said, that first bit of work makes everything else easier, because once you've got a case study, closing clients becomes easier. So what I will do is give you your first client once you're qualified. So as soon as I give you the nod to say, yes, you are good enough, I will give you a client and I will pay you to do that work. It won't be 100%, but I get paid a lot of money for my clients. So you're not going to be getting paid a shit job rate. I get paid a lot of money. So if I close a client on 5 grand a month for full fucking infrastructure, I'll pay you 2.5 grand to do it. You've got two choices. You can either say no and get salty that I'm making money from your work, and then obviously go and do your own outreach and just never make any money and quit like everyone else. Or you can treat it as a little helping hand. I give you a helping hand, you give me a helping hand. You're gonna do some work, you're gonna get case studies, you're gonna network with clients, you're gonna build friends, get referrals, and you'll have case studies in your outreach then. This is what I've done, this is how much it's improved their business, and this is how much I can help you. And it's going to help you expand. And you're going to get paid while you do it. So that is my spiel. That is my spiel. If you want to join my content marketing agency, I will give you work once you get your qualification. And like I said, I do have a coaching offer, which I haven't made any money from yet, hoping this video does well. So then I do get a second stream of income coming in, because I like content marketing, but I want to be a millionaire. I've been upfront and blunt with you all. With content marketing, you can make a max 20 grand, average 5 to 10 grand. I want to be a millionaire. The only way to be a millionaire is to have multiple streams of income. This is what I'm doing, so this is my pitch. So if you want to get clients off of me, you have to be immaculate. Now, this course is more than enough to give you everything you need to be a freelance content marketer. More than enough. However, it's not quite enough for you to be up to my personal standard, because like I said, mediocre copywriters can make 5 to 10 grand a month if you're mediocre. I am not looking for mediocre copywriters. I'm looking for people who are executive copywriters, up there with me, completely and utterly exceptional. And unfortunately, a 5-hour video on YouTube is not going to be enough. You need feedback, you need reviews, you need other things like, you need a full education system on platform-specific strategies for social media, different social media tactics that you can use, ad script tutorials. There's a lot of extra stuff that you need. You know, I need to show you how to use WordPress, how to design and develop landing pages, how to track metrics using Google Analytics. There's a lot of extra stuff that you need to be exceptional. You can make 5 to 10 grand a month just understanding the buyer's journey and writing content. But I want full funnel freelance content marketers that can do everything, that have every single skill. So that's why you need a qualification of me, and that's why I created the Legacy Formula. And the Legacy Formula is basically the world's greatest online marketing course. And remember at the beginning of the video where I told you I bought 10 other courses? Yeah, I did. I bought 10 other courses and spent more than 15 grand on all these courses just to see what's in them all. And I put them all in my course for a lot less than 50 grand, not even close. Not even close, less than 20%. But here's the deal. I'm gonna show you what's in it before you all run away and cry that I'm selling a course, because at the end of the day, I am an entrepreneur and this is what I do. So let's show you what's inside my ultimate legacy formula. We have 5 courses altogether. We have the email marketing masterclass, the social media marketing bootcamp, the search engine optimization intensive, the website copywriting playbook, and the client acquisition blueprint. Get ready to have your socks blown off, because there's more than 70 hours worth of content throughout this entire course. And you even get an accredited qualification at the end of it. And once you get that qualification, I will give you paying clients. You will make your money back immediately after completing this course. You will just make your money back straight away. And I go over everything. And this is just one course. This is just the email marketing course. You're going to learn even more in-depth copywriting techniques. You're going to learn even more in-depth brand copywriting techniques. You're going to learn how to manage email softwares and monetize your own newsletter with a secret trick that I have put in there to help you make 4 grand in your first month doing this strategy, monetizing your own newsletter. You're going to go really in depth onto audience funnels and engagement funnels. I'm really going to break it down for you. I'm going to teach you every single email sequence, not just one welcome sequence. You're going to learn post-purchase, banned and checkout, drip campaigns, re-engagement, advanced welcome sequences, requested quote sequences, everything. Bonus lessons, advanced email copywriting. You're going to learn about really advanced pain point triggers, nuclear subject lines, hooks, on-page elements, everything you could ever need to become the greatest email marketer on planet Earth and make 20 grand a month like me, rather than 5 grand a month like the mediocre content writers. And that's just one course. I'm just going to quickly breeze through. You can pause the video and have a look at the curriculum if you want to. But this is the social media course. And again, it goes more in depth onto platform-specific strategies. So there you can see everything, more advanced copywriting techniques that really rips apart everything that you've learned in this course. And you'll notice from the curriculum that I have taught you pretty much everything that's in the big course. But again, this just really rips it down and turns you into a god when it comes to content marketing. So that is my pitch. If you want to get clients off of me and make your money back within 1 week of completing my course, then this is all you have to do. You have to sign up to the newsletter, and I will be releasing a promotion which can save you £7,300. That is not a joke. I'm going to release the promotion very, very soon on my email list. Next 2 weeks. So you can save 7.5 grand. If you want to get it now, all you have to do is get in touch with me, join the community, reach out to me. I'll get all this set up for you, and you can jump straight into it, and you can start learning. You can start earning within 1 week of completing this course. And you're going to have the ultimate client acquisition blueprint. This isn't just an hour's worth of a free YouTube video. This is more than 20 hours worth of content teaching you how to get clients with over 13 outreach methods, sales call tricks, how to handle every specific possible objection, and how to scale, become a millionaire. I'm not just teaching you how to be a content marketer. I'll teach you everything, how to use these skills to make even more money beyond just selling your services. So that is everything from this video. You can literally make from this video between 5 and 10 grand a month as a freelance content marketer, or you can make money immediately within 1 week by joining my program and scale all the way up to 20 grand a month because you will be an executive content marketer. So hopefully you've enjoyed this video. Make sure you sign up to the newsletter. leave a like, leave a comment. If you found the codes throughout the video, DM me, you'll get free coaching. If you found all 12 codes, DM me, and you will get this entire course for free. Not just coaching, you will get the course. I will put you on all 5 courses for free if you find all 12 codes. And yeah, hopefully this video has been informative. Thank you for watching all the way to the end. Make sure you share it with all your friends. Make sure anyone who knows about content marketing, copywriting, all that sort of stuff, get it shared around in all the communities. And let's help everyone out. Let's all help each other, and I will help you get your first client and build the foundation to a 20 grand a month lucrative online career. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.